I got another movie thing that I saw this week that I think is really interesting.
Okay.
So I was watching a YouTube video where Michael J. White is on a podcast.
Bruh.
Talking about The Dark Knight.
I was just about to
Whoa!
talk about that, dog.
How weird is that?
It's not it's not that weird. YouTube just has algorithms and pushes its certain
but
aspects of
it's still
content.
kind of weird. So so I thought this was super interesting.
You watched it,
Him
right?
talking about Heath Ledger.
I was literally
and working
like,
with Christopher
as
Nolan.
you started bringing that up, I was like, how can I transition this into the Michael J. White thing? Wow. That's crazy.
Oh, so you go into conversations thinking about how you can steer them to where you want them to go. Wow, that's really cool of you.
Wow. I actively think about like having good transitions between our topics.
I just actively
for the
listen.
benefit of our listeners. Yeah, I do, Kyle. If that makes me an asshole, then go ahead.
We in.
What's
We
up,
in.
peoples?
What's going on? What's going on?
What are you?
Just letting everybody see, see the face.
Yeah.
Yeah. You got a headache? You feeling all right though? You gonna make it?
Yeah. I'm gonna make it. I might be a little.
I'll see it.
little
I'll
bogged
I'll
down.
believe it when I see it.
Might be a little bogged down.
When I wrap this thing up and you're still standing or sitting, then I'll believe that you'll make it.
Standing in a metaphorical sense.
Exactly. Yeah, that. Alrighty. What's new? What's going on?
There's a lot of fucking trailers that came out this week, dog. You
bunch
ready to
of
talk about
trailers.
this? What do you want to start with?
I mean, I just watched Dora, so
You
we
wanna-
might as well
Let's start with Dora.
talk about it.
All right. How?
What's the full title? Dora the Explorer and the Lost City of Gold.
Is that the full title?
What are we? Some kind of Suicide Squad? Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them? Hold on. Is it just called Dora and the Lost City of
I thought it was just called Dora the Explorer.
No,
I
it
don't know.
definitely has a subtitle. And the Lost City of Gold. It's just called Dora and the Lost City of Gold. You want to know what the best... I already know the best things about this movie, and they're not in the trailer. And it's the fact that Benicio del Toro is voicing Swiper, and that Danny Trejo is voicing the monkey Boots. That's amazing.
I didn't know.
They didn't show Danny... They don't have any Danny Trejo... When Danny Trejo says swiper, no swiping, that's great. Mm-hmm. That's funny. That's a good joke. That's a bit. Mm-hmm. As for everything else, what is happening?
It's crazy that it's going to exist, right?
It's crazy that it exists.
Mm-hmm.
It's nuts.
And like it's like some kind of weird like high school yet Tomb Raider.
Dude, she's gonna be in high school for like 15 minutes.
Yeah,
it's not gonna last long.
Yeah, but like they kind of like set it up in a way that
Yeah.
like it makes you think that it's Dora in high school, and that's gonna be like some of the. But like they go on a field trip and or get
To a museum.
kidnapped.
They go on a field trip to a museum and get kidnapped there. Clearly.
Okay,
Come on, keep up.
sorry, excuse me.
Like, who's the target for this, right? Because we're too old for it to be us.
For sure.
But is it like my sisters? Is it like kids that are still in high school?
Probably.
Is it kids that are in early
girls
college
who
right
grew
now?
up on Dora.
Yeah.
because like Dora's been around for a while.
Yeah.
She's been
Well,
around for a
Dora's
minute.
over. I'm pretty sure they don't make Dora anymore.
Well, yeah, now it's Go Diego Go or whatever.
That's like
right?
her cousin. He's in
Yeah,
the trailer.
yeah.
He's tall and skinny now.
Uh-huh.
That's what she says.
Yeah, and he seems just like really cool. He seems like a really cool
He's got
guy.
a buzz cut and he wears Ray-Bans.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that might be the audience though, because like it seems like they are going for a little like it's not full on straight up kids.
So I
But it's
didn't
like-
know. I just found out the trailer was out. I knew there was a poster and stuff. I didn't know a trailer came out. So I saw the poster yesterday, and I was like, "Oh, they're just doing like a weird Uncharted knockoff kind of thing, like a Tomb Raider Uncharted vibey thing, right?"
Uh-huh.
And then I watched the trailer, and I was like, "Yeah, but it's skewed much like lower than that.
Right.
It's like goofier than that."
Yeah,
Um,
definitely.
I love Michael Pena though.
Yeah, I'm excited for that.
He's great.
Although,
He's
like,
great in everything.
What world would Michael Pena be married to Eva Longoria?
I need you
In
to.
what?
I need you
world?
to stop sleeping on my boy Michael Pena.
In what world?
If anything, in what world is Eva Longoria married to Michael Pena?
Is that what you're saying to Eva Longoria, that she needs to stop sleeping on Michael Pena?
No. They're married. Do whatever you want.
They're not actually though.
I'm talking about their characters.
The characters in Dora are.
Yeah, dude, but like, I don't know that movie. I don't know.
Did it make you uncomfortable that this is gonna get weird? Did it make you uncomfortable that Dora's hot?
Yeah, it's weird. It's
I had
weirded
to look
me
it
out
up.
since
She's 18.
She's 18. Yeah,
So it's still kind of creepy.
it's weirded.
but
It's weirded me
it's
out.
legal, you know?
Well, no, she's 18 now. How old was she when they filmed it?
True. Oh damn.
You're a creep. You're a creep.
Lock me up. See? You see what happened? I'm telling you, dude. Every time that I'm like,
Every time you're questionable.
Every time I get into questionable moral ground, dude,
Your chair slides.
my chair starts sliding, dude. It's gravity fucking pulling me down to hell.
No, but
dog. That's
like
what it is.
it's clearly like an emphasized thing. Like they want you to realize it. They're not trying to hide it. You know what I'm saying?
That she's pretty.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
It's not like over the top or anything, but they're not hiding it.
Yeah.
And it's
They're just
extra
kinda
weird because
creepy.
it's the same little girl from the last Transformers movie, not Bumblebee, but the last Last Night I think it's called.
Oh,
The one
okay.
that the girl's that's like crying in the
I never
trailer.
saw
I
it.
never saw it either, but I saw the trailer. But it's the same girl, and she was like a child in that movie.
Right.
And now she doesn't look like a child anymore.
Yeah.
She looks like an adult.
Yeah, it's weird.
It freaks me out.
It's weird. All right, that's enough about Dora though. So at the
Will
end
you
of-
see it?
At that no,
Probably not, right?
no. I'll watch the clips of Michael
I don't know though.
Pena
Like
if they're good.
I really want to see Benicio del Toro and Danny Trejo as animals.
I
that talk.
will watch like the good parts from it. If anybody like makes a supercut of all of like the not shitty.
Can you do
stuff.
like a Danny Trejo impersonation? Do you have that in your wheelhouse?
Machete?
But like say swiper no swiping.
Okay. Swiper, no swiping.
It's so dumb. Oh,
That's not
like
that's just me doing like growling.
how
That's it.
evil of a fox thief is Benicio del Toro going to be? Because Benicio can be scary as hell.
Yeah. Dude, what if
They
it's
can make
fucking-
him so scary.
like what if this movie like just has like a lot of like the stupid kind of like Nickelodeon movie kind of shit and then like
then that pops
but
off.
there's like three specific performances
Yep.
that are just fucking
Yep.
amazing.
Yep. Just some weird
be
voice
dope.
performances.
That'd be dope.
Yeah, the monkey didn't like look that good either, which I mean, it's a
Yeah.
trailer, so it's not a finished product, so we don't know how it's going to end up looking. But like when she hugged the monkey, it looked bad.
Yeah,
I was like,
didn't
ugh.
look good.
I don't. It doesn't look like you're hugging a monkey. All right, let's talk about some of these. Other
Hold on,
ones.
hold on.
Oh,
So it's not rated.
It said
So a lot of people-
The last thing in the trailer.
So a lot of
This
people are
movie not yet
theorizing that
Rated R.
you might get a rated R Dora movie.
That's
She's
not-
fucking cutting up
It's
people.
just whether or not it's going to be PG or PG-13 for sure. Which it'll probably be PG-13 because there's weapons and adventure. Like if Shazam is PG-13, Dora will probably be PG-13. It's my guess.
make Boots say fuck.
Hell yeah! Your PG-13 movie, you got one. You've got,
You got
one
fuck.
F-bomb.
You use that fuck.
Do you use it on Danny Trejo or Benicio? Or Michael Pena?
Wait, so I mean, Swiper is the
Swiper's like a thief.
so Trejo, yeah.
You think you use it with Boots? Does he
Wait,
say?
no.
Does he say Swiper? No fucking
Wait,
swiping.
Wait, is Benicio
The
the?
fox. He's Swiper.
Okay,
But Danny Trejo is the monkey. Boots.
gotcha. Yeah, so Benicio then.
Yeah, that'd be pretty.
the
If
villain.
he's really, I don't know though. Like whipping it out with Danny Trejo would be funny though.
Mm-hmm.
If he says like Swiper, no fucking swiping. That'd be so good. You know, there's gonna be like some like extra features or something, and it's just like Danny and Benicio being full on adult, like R-rated in the booth
Yeah.
as those characters. I'd
Yeah.
watch that.
It's
I'd
like
watch
that-
that feature.
It's like that clip of John Mulaney.
Yeah,
doing,
as Spider-Ham,
Peter
where he's just
Porker.
like cursing and shit.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Oh God. All right. Yeah, there's that one.
Next movie.
Let's stick with kid stuff. Toy Story 4. Which
Okay.
is not
I would
only
say,
kid stuff.
like-
it's more adult stuff than anything, I think, at this point.
Yeah. I
Who
think
do you
that
think they make Toy Story 4 for?
Everyone.
True.
I think
That's
that
true.
like the problem of so like when we saw the Dora trailer, we were like, who is this really made for? Because it's like
Mm-hmm.
a weird blend of like, okay, it's based off of like really little kid shit.
Yep.
And then like, but she's in high school, and then there's
It's
like,
got Tomb Raider vibes.
yeah. So like who is this for? Like it's Pixar is like like perfectly manages to
They
just
know how to
attack,
target everything.
like the
Yeah.
4 quadrants of demographics.
Yeah.
They can just be like, yep, this is for everyone.
Yep.
Like everyone can watch this movie, even if you've never seen a fucking Toy Story movie before and you're 8 years old. You can still probably like go into Toy Story 4.
Hey, random scrub 8-year-old, get your shit together.
Yeah, what the fuck
See
is
Toy
wrong
Stories 1 through 3.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
Swiper, no fucking swiping.
So Toy Story 4.
Pardon me. Just a little sip of tea there. Toy Story 4. Mm-hmm. What'd you think of the trailer?
It's very Woody centric.
Very Woody centric.
Very Woody centric. Doesn't seem like it's like as much of a partnership of Woody
and Buzz. Yeah.
Like I read somewhere that it's supposed to be like a more of a romance between
Woody and Bo Peep for sure. I got that vibe.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I like is the contrast to the first Toy Story movie. Right, when Buzz shows up, Woody's jealous of him.
Mm-hmm.
Woody's like afraid of being replaced as a toy.
Yeah.
Now, fast forward 20 years or whatever it's been, and Forky shows up. Right.
Yeah.
Woody ain't jealous. Woody now has learned to embrace new toys.
Yeah.
And he's learned the value of everyone. It's a very cool little portrait of character growth.
I'm excited
just
for
over a
Forky.
movie. Yeah, it's going to be fun. I'm excited for Key and Peele as carnival stuffed animals.
Yeah, that's fun.
What are they, Ducky and Bunny or something?
It also just like the visuals look amazing.
Oh yeah,
like
it's nuts. Like if you look side by side of like the first Toy Story and this one, it's amazing just how much technology has grown. Yeah, it's nuts. Yeah. Bo Peep's like a badass,
especially
now.
Considering they were like on they were the ones that really pushed forward 3D animation like that.
It's amazing. I'm like when they were like we're making Toy Story 4, it was like, oh great. They made you knew they were doing it because they made so much money from Toy Story 3.
Yeah.
But at the same time, a part of me was like, but it's going to be good. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to get mad at them for cash grabbing because people are, you know how people get. They're like, they're just trying to make more money. Mm-hmm. Well, no fucking shit. They're a company. Like, what do you expect from them?
Yeah.
They need to make money to make more movies.
But at least they will
but
pull
Pixar,
out a reliable
exactly.
product.
Pixar always puts in as much effort and heart as possible into all of their stuff.
Yeah.
And just because Toy Story 4 is maybe a cash grab, that doesn't mean that it's not going to be a really high quality movie.
If your worst movies are The Good Dinosaur and Cars 2, then like you've done pretty
Cars
fucking well.
2 is the Iron Man 2 of the Pixar universe.
I've never seen it.
Neither have I, but I know what it is.
Dude, what if it's really good?
It's not.
We're just fucking operating off speculation.
I've seen Spy Mater shit. It's bad.
What?
Mater's like a spy.
He's a spy in the second one?
Yeah.
What?
He meets like a James Bond car, and he's a spy.
So
he
shit. Meets an Aston Martin, or Austin.
It might actually be.
I don't know how to pronounce it.
It might actually be an Aston Martin.
That's what James Bond drives.
Yeah. Well, he's driven a bunch of different cars, but
like that's the main thing that he drives.
Yeah.
It's like synonymous with James Bond.
Have they moved on with the new James Bond movie? Have they? They're doing one more with Daniel Craig, right?
Are they?
I think they're doing well because remember all the shit he said where he was like he never wanted to do another one and he hates making them and they're like brutal on him because of the amount of work he has to put into being in that good. He's pretty old. Mm-hmm. Like I want to say he's around 50. I might be wrong.
He's an old man.
He's an old man. But he apparently hates making them. But he's contractually obligated to make one more, I think. So they go. I don't know. I don't know if they're waiving him from it or not and doing a new one. Because you hear talk so often about who's going to be the next James Bond. And I don't even know if they're on the last Daniel Craig one yet. I think they might be making one more with him and then doing the new James Bond.
Anyways, there was no James Bond trailers that came out.
No, it just made me think of it.
No, that's fine.
It's also interesting. Like, who's going to be the new James Bond? I don't know. A lot of people say Henry Cavill. A lot of people want Idris Elba.
Is Henry Cavill American or
No,
British?
he's British, dude.
He is British?
He's fucking British, dog.
Huh.
Yeah.
I mean, I just assumed because he was Superman, I guess.
Yeah.
He's American.
Well, like, it's like, how come an American actor can't play James Bond, but a British actor can play Superman? That doesn't seem right. Right?
I don't really.
Why don't we put the same value on our homegrown actors as Britain does? They love British people love British actors. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They're like we have the best actors, and they're kind of right. British actors oftentimes are fucking amazing. For example, you can't even tell Henry Cavill's British.
Yeah.
If you didn't know it.
Didn't know it.
Yeah, he pulls it off in Superman and in The Man from U.N.C.L.E.
I've never seen it.
He is like the American. He's so American, and in Mission Impossible.
Is that movie good?
Yeah, I like Man from U.N.C.L.E. Yeah, it was cool. Alicia Vikander's in it, dog. Of course.
Is it very like? Is it like James Bond-esque?
Kind of, but it's also like more about.
I don't know shit about the source material.
It's more about me neither. It's more about like Henry Cavill and Armie Hammer's sort of like competitive partnership.
Okay.
Than it is about.
Is Armie Hammer good in it?
He's like Russian, or some shit.
Okay.
Like he's some sort of Eastern European, but yeah, he's
that
good.
Can be kind of weird. People with Russian accents, it can be kind of like hacky.
No, he's good at it.
Okay.
And then Alicia Vikander is, I think she uses her real accent.
It's British.
No, she's not British.
So she's not British, but she has a British accent.
Oh.
She's like.
Where's she from again?
I think she's
Swedish. Yeah.
I
think she does a Swedish accent, but I don't remember exactly. Anyway, yeah, it's a fun movie. What did you say? You said something. Huh?
Next movie. Once Upon a Time in America. You want to talk about that?
In America?
Or Once Upon a Time in Hollywood?
What movie are you talking about?
Hollywood,
is this the sequel?
Once Upon a Time in America is a movie. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Hollywood. The movie looks fucking great.
It looks fun, right?
It looks so fun.
It looks like a lot of fun.
It looks so... Dude, the last shot of that scene of that trailer, when the little girl tells Leo DiCaprio what a great actor he is, and then he starts like crying. It's so funny. Oh my God.
I feel like there's gonna be a lot of that, like just reflecting the egos of Hollywood.
Yep.
It's like, I feel like it's gonna be the predominant kind of humor that comes through this movie.
And they do it again, sort of.
I'm so excited.
There's the scene when Brad Pitt and Leo are being interviewed, and he's like, "What, carry his load?" Yeah, it's basically what I do. Like, it's so good.
Also, Bruce fucking Lee.
Oh my God, asshole Bruce Lee.
Fucking full of himself.
God, he's such a dick.
Narcissistic Bruce Lee, which like you kind of know that he would be, you know?
Yeah.
Like I love Bruce Lee, guys. Like I grew up watching Bruce Lee movies. Like one of the only reason, the sole reason that I bought nunchucks and started learning nunchucks was because of Bruce Lee. Because at a very young age, I was fascinated with Game of Death and seeing him in the yellow jumpsuit just fucking doing his thing, you know? Nunchucking, right? I love Bruce Lee, but he is a narcissist. Mm-hmm. And he's like, even there's a quote from Bruce Lee that's like, that said like, if I told you that I wasn't the best, I'd be lying. But if I tell you that I am the best, then I'm an asshole or whatever. You're like, I'm paraphrasing.
Yeah. What's the line he says in the trailer though, where he's like,
he's like, if I got into a fight and accidentally killed someone, then I would be sent to jail. And then Brad Pitt's like, if anyone accidentally killed someone in a fight, they'd be sent to jail.
Yo, it's going to be a fun movie.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah. It's also going to be...
Margot Robbie's in it. We haven't even mentioned her.
Yeah. It's also going to be like weird now that we're in Hollywood.
The weird thing about it is that it's like the time frame it's based around and the sort of topical, like what they're touching on apparently is, what's his name? Oh, jeez. Hold on. Well, maybe not. There's not even anything in the description.
They're written and directed by Quentin Tarantino, by the way. I don't even know if we brought that up. For those that don't know, this is Quentin Tarantino's new movie, starring Leonardo DiCaprio, Brad Pitt. Do you remember anybody else that was in it? Like those are the main guys. Like, yeah, Margot Robbie's the other one. But Leo basically plays like an
actor.
He plays a really big actor, and then Brad Pitt is his stunt double, right?
Al Pacino's in this movie?
Looks really fun. Fucking why not?
Charles Manson. That's what I was thinking.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, but it's like tertiarily connected to the Charles Manson murders.
Yeah.
I could not remember the name. But yeah, apparently. Yeah, Al Pacino's in it. Tim Roth, Dakota Fanning.
Yep.
Timothy Olyphant, the sexiest man alive. Kurt Russell. Damian Lewis. Emil Hirsch. There's a James Marsden, Scoot McNairy,
Yep.
Rumor Will. There's a crap ton of people in this movie. Jesus, Michael Madsen. Of course, it's a Tarantino film. Holy
Well, I mean,
mackerel.
same thing with Tim Roth and
Bruce
even
Dern.
Kurt Russell now.
Bruce Dern.
Right.
Jesus, this is nuts. Yeah, one of the things I really liked about the trailer is that it really painted the tone strongly. It was like, here's what this movie is going to be like, the experience of this movie.
Mm-hmm.
And then it showed us like a couple good moments, but nothing. Like, do you know what that movie's about?
I know it's gonna be about Hollywood, is it?
Yeah, exactly. Like, who has any clue, like, what's going to happen in that movie? Not me. I bet you that some people die. I bet you there's blood.
Hold on. Have you seen a Quentin Tarantino?
I bet
movie?
you that there's like a black dude that
Have you
drops
seen
the
a Quentin
N-word
Tarantino?
a bunch. Yes, I have. And that is what I am basing this off of.
Either way, I'm excited for it.
Yeah,
Obviously, like I'm gonna see anything that Quentin Tarantino makes.
Do you put any stock in his thing that he's only ever going to make 10 movies? Or whatever that number, whatever his number was. If so, this is the second to last movie.
I think that he's a weirdo, and he has but he has like very specific ideals about the way that he makes movies and his theories on movies and what he wants to do after he's done filmmaking.
What does he want to do after he's done making movies?
Make fucking film textbooks.
That's so boring.
I don't know. I would fucking.
What would you rather have exist?
Huh?
What would you rather have exist? The 11th film by Quentin Tarantino or the first film textbook by Quentin Tarantino?
I want whatever Quentin Tarantino is passionate about.
No, stop.
For him to make.
Stop pandering to Quentin Tarantino.
I'm pandering to my inner fucking passion. I think that like anybody,
I get it.
If he has it in his brain and in his heart that like, okay, I can't keep doing this forever, and this is a young man's game, and I can't do this until I'm 60. You know, which
I would say
a lot of people disagree with.
Look at Marty.
A lot of people disagree with it. Even very successful people. Marty Scorsese is one. Akira Kurosawa is another. They just believe that they can do it until they die. But Quentin's
Spielberg
also very
thinks the same thing.
Quentin's also very precious about his selection of movies. So like the way that
his filmography is very precious to him.
Yes. Yeah. And he wants anybody who, you know, is first discovering Quentin Tarantino to be able to take out anything from the Quentin Tarantino filmography and watch it and be impressed.
Yeah.
He wants fucking Death Proof to be his worst movie.
Yeah.
Which is like also, I mean, that's very different to even guys like Woody Allen. Woody Allen makes a movie every year.
Every year, yeah.
And he
Same
has
with Clint Eastwood.
And he has a lot of clunkers. Like there isn't a lot of like super bad movies, but there's a definite like, you know, Midnight in Paris is probably, you know, widely regarded as way better than Vicky Cristina Barcelona. You know?
I really like Midnight in Paris.
It's a charming ass movie. Charming ass movie.
But you know what I think? I think that maybe right now Quentin Tarantino thinks that, you know, he's like, oh, I want these 10 movies and I want them all to be good. But you know what I think he is? I think he's Brett Favre.
Yeah?
Yep, I think he's Brett Favre.
What? So
I think that.
What do you mean?
I think he loves it too much.
Yeah.
I think Quentin Tarantino, maybe he takes off 4 or 5 years, whatever, writes a film textbook, writes a book, you know, whatever he wants to do, follows his bliss. Yeah. But I think he misses it.
And he's gonna like Eyes Wide Shut Stanley Kubrick it and make a movie way after.
I think he might. He could come out of retirement a little bit, pull a Brett Favre,
an MJ.
Yeah, pull an MJ. Hopefully better than MJ, but like Brett Favre came back and went to the NFC Championship game, still slinging it. I don't know if MJ was the Wizards years weren't really on that par.
Either way, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood looks fun.
Once Upon a Time in.
We'll definitely go see it.
I like seeing the posters all around. Like the other night, I was like walking somewhere and I saw the poster and I just like took a picture on Snapchat of me sitting between them and I was like, my new friends, my friends Leo and BP.
Last one, the most important one.
Are you sure it's the last one? I'm gonna throw in. I know what you think is the last one, so I'm gonna throw in Brightburn again.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
I forgot putting
a second Brightburn trailer came out.
I forgot to fucking write that down.
Yo,
I don't know why I didn't write that down.
Yo, where's your hype level for Brightburn right now?
So it's weird. It's weird because like there's like prongs of like, okay, I could see this being a bad movie, but James Gunn is involved, so like so I have faith.
Producer.
Right? He's a producer.
His cousin or brother is the writer.
Is directing it.
Writer director. I'll look it up. Keep talking.
Okay.
Clarify.
James Gunn is involved. I thought he was directing it though.
Okay. I don't think so.
Yeah,
that's how they trick you because they do that from the visionary mind of the director of Guardians of the Galaxy.
All right, hold on. We gotta pause this.
Pause what? We back. We good. Storage issues taken care of.
Yes. There's probably going to be a lot of differences with us, like trying to figure out the new visual shit of the podcast. So, just weather the growing pains, I guess.
Yeah. Okay. I've got the information here on Brightburn. It is written by 2 of James Gunn's brothers. Not the one that plays Rocket on set.
Okay.
Not Sean. Brian and Mark Gunn. It is directed by David Yarovesky, who doesn't really have much in his history. He did direct the Disco Inferno music video from Guardians of the Galaxy 2. So he's got that going.
That's cool.
He's just clearly one of James Gunn's friends.
Right.
Which James Gunn is... he's someone who is always putting his friends in things and helping his friends do things.
Yeah.
So that's why he's a producer on this movie. Brightburn. So second trailer came out.
Okay, so
it made me want to see it even more. Second trailer. I'm still into it.
There was specific things in it that I was like this could be kind of like this could be bad if it's like there's grounds here for like it for me to be scared,
like what?
We're like worried. So like the scene where Elizabeth Adams that's her name, right? Or Elizabeth Banks.
There you go.
There. Elizabeth Banks, she's in the kitchen and she's like screaming and her kid is flying through the kitchen in and out. Like I found it kind of funny. I found it more funny than
I
anything.
I thought that was scary.
But like I think that
would be freaky.
I think that there might be a lot of that.
Okay.
I think that there's going to be some like dark humor to it.
I wouldn't be surprised just from the people involved. There could definitely be dark humor.
Yeah. That's why I'm not too worried about it.
The glass in the eye. Ugh, miss me with that, dude. Miss me with that.
Yeah. Like, so you've taken the history of motion pictures.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember An Andalusian Dog? It's a movie that was made by Luis Buñuel and Salvador Dali.
Listen, if we're gonna be serious about saying that I took history of motion pictures, we have to be honest about what that means for me.
Okay. And
how many classes I may or may not have attended throughout my entire college experience. Mm-hmm. So I have no idea what you're talking about.
Okay, well, you know who Salvador Dali is.
Yes, the name is familiar.
So Salvador Dali is a surrealist.
Sure.
Yeah, but him and Luis Buñuel made a movie called An Andalusian Dog, or Un Chien Andalou in French. But
all that French you've been doing, that's what you got for me? Where's my swag, dog?
Oui Oui.
Oui Oui.
Monsieur. No, but fucking in that movie is known for having a scene where I think like a barber takes a straight edge razor to a woman's eye. And you can see it like, and it's the importance of the shot is it's showing like the different ways that people were cutting together different information, and because it cross cuts that shot with the shot of like the moon and like the cloud, like a cloud going through the moon, and then it goes right into a fucking razor going through this girl's eye and fucking pus coming out.
No thank you.
But yeah, it's one of the most unsettling shots. Mm-hmm. In like film history, but like that's immediately what it reminded me of, like her like pulling glass out of her eye, and like they don't.
It also gave a little context to the first trailer where he's just tormenting this poor woman in a freezer. Now we see that she's a bitch, and that's why he's doing it. Yeah, I'm interested in this movie for sure. I think it's a very fun idea. and could be very good.
I also like the fact that James Gunn is involved and decided to be like,
my name's all over this shit.
My name's all over this shit, but also pushing for something to be made when it's like on questionable legal grounds.
As long as they never say Smallville or Superman or Clark Kent, or like any of those, they're fine. They're perfectly fine. I think Krypton. I think they're good.
I don't know enough about.
Listen, if no one could use Superman's powers or parts of his power set, we'd be fucked. He has almost all of them. No one could fly or have heat vision or super strength.
So clearly, like,
oh yeah, it's complete ripoff. It's a complete ripoff. Yeah, but it's very interesting.
The only way to pitch this movie is if Superman was evil.
Yeah,
that's the movie.
It's interesting though, and makes spooky writing, which is literally just it's just his name. I did that when I was a kid. I would write little things where I would mirror letters. So like I would write Kyle with a line and then the lines on both sides, so it's a K mirrored.
Yeah.
And I would do it with every letter. That's all that symbol is. It's a B mirrored.
Oh, okay.
And his name is like Brandon.
So that's where it's coming
or
from.
Something like that.
I mean, that's where it's coming from.
Yeah, but it looks like an alien symbol.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it also like it's very similar to the.
Exactly. But it's just a B mirrored.
Yeah.
It's like how kids would draw the sup S all the time. Like I would do that with letters. I would just mirror them when I was little. Never thought about using them as my evil logo though. That's pretty smart. All right, let's talk about the one, the belle of the ball. Stranger Things season 3 trailer.
Yeah.
Ooh boy. Ooh boy.
So, are you more excited for this than any of the other things that we've talked about so far?
Probably. Toy Story 4 would be close.
I am. As semi disappointed as I was with season 2 of Stranger Things.
I liked season 2. It had the one shitty episode.
I liked it. There was one very shitty episode. Like, really bothered me.
It just didn't make sense that it was there.
It was just unnecessary.
Yeah, it was unnecessary. That's unnecessary.
Yeah. But like there was a lot of things where I was just like, man, it's missing this. Like the best thing about season 2 of Stranger Things is the
Sean Astin.
Huh? Sean Astin's fine. But it's the unexpected relationship between Steve and Dustin.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Right? That's the best thing, right?
Well, we get full blown Mom Steve.
Exactly.
That's what is sort of birthed in season 2.
Yeah, exactly. But it's also like it goes to show the best part about this show is the interrelations between the characters.
Yeah.
And if you're going to go through an entire season where we don't get to see Mike and 11 together, it's going to bother me. Like, I'm okay with them.
You have a little shipper's heart.
Well, I like seeing the characters interact with each other, and I think that it's the best part about the show. And one of the biggest problems about season 2 was the fact that like all of these characters are on their own little side quests, and they don't really interact with each other as much, you know. But like the best part of it was fucking Dustin and Steve getting together. The unlikely friendship.
I really liked the Hopper's arc in season 2 too.
Yeah,
I really liked Dad Hopper.
The fathership thing, like the Kramer versus Kramer kind of thing that he went through. I enjoyed that as well. But it's also very like I feel like they could have done that while also. Either way, I think that as you know, much as I was disappointed by season 2, I think that it could lead to a lot of amazing things in season 3,
like the reuniting, the sort of now integrating 11 into being a normal person.
Yeah.
Is going to be very fun.
Which I'm
that. Excited for them to move off the Halloween thing. Okay. And this is the 4th of July. Is the time frame of this season. I think that's really fun. Just giving a different vibe. Like I kind of feel like the horror element of Stranger Things is a little bit overblown.
Yeah.
To the point where like people are like will be like, "Oh, Stranger Things is so scary." And I'm like, it's whatever. It's there's creatures. But the thing that makes it great is what you're talking about. It's the inverse of the horror stuff. That's the stuff that to me separates Stranger Things from other horror projects.
I think that what makes Stranger Things great is interconnectedness of all of those things. You know, like
yeah, they do a good job of balancing it.
The horror also expands on the character work. You know what I mean? And like puts these characters into conflicting situations that horrify you, that gross you out, whatever. That interest you, that create mystery. And that expands on the character work itself. I don't think that like you can really single
sure,
out.
that's true.
But like, the reason that I singled that out was to show why I didn't like season 2 as much.
You know what?
Because
I
it was
also
missing that element.
I also
it
think
still had horror elements.
I also think season 1 was way scarier than season 2.
Yeah.
I don't like during season 2 I was never like spooked. Whereas in season 1, up until we saw the creature for the first time,
Wait, what about the big? Oh fuck, what was it?
It's just
called?
cool. I just think it's cool.
The huge.
Yeah, the big Cthulhu monster.
Yeah.
I just thought it was cool.
I mean, I've never. I could probably agree with you. Season 1's scarier than season 2. Yeah, I can agree.
Well, it's part of it's the double-edged sword of revealing your monster in a horror movie. Once you've seen it, it's less scary because it's less mysterious.
Yeah.
Your imagination can't run away with what it might be and how awful it might be because now you know exactly the answers to that question.
And we also have like sort of like a logical conclusion as to what the monster is, where it comes from, where it resides.
And in season 2,
so you have more information.
In season 2, there are more monsters, but they seem less intelligent. They're less scary. They're more like dogs than in season 1, where they seem like an intelligent being. Mm-hmm. Yeah, even though it's the same creatures. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there was like more of like a horde.
Although I do love the scene in season 2 when they're in that junkyard in the bus and all of them are coming towards them. And Mom Steve is ready with the bat.
That's a great scene.
Yep. There's some really good stuff in season 2.
Because he's about to fight like one of the dogs.
And then a bunch of them. They kill one, I think, and then a bunch show up. Uh-huh. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, there's definitely good things in season 2.
I'm super hyped for season 3. The trailer looks like a lot of fun. There's so many characters. Like some of the characters that I forgot that fake Zac Efron was in it, and I really liked him in season 2.
Why do you call him fake?
Because he acts like Zac Efron.
He
does, dude. Have you seen Power Rangers?
Yeah, I've seen Power Rangers.
He acts like Zac Efron.
We've had a heated discussion on Power Rangers
about how bleh it is.
I enjoyed it.
It's bleh.
I enjoyed it.
It's bleh. It could have been so much better.
I enjoyed it.
There's so much bad shit in it. Fuck that Goldar. Fuck it to hell. Burn it with fire.
I'm fine with it. Fight me. I'm fine with it.
Fucking liquid.
That is my Goldar.
Fuck off. He didn't even have any monkeyness to him. Where's his blue monkeyness, man? He's not even like a real... He's like a weird collection of liquid. Fuck off with that Goldar. Mm. Ugh. Boo. That movie should have been so much
Would you say that you're Rita repulsed by that Goldar?
Ooh, that was good. I like that. Nice. All right. Anyway. I'm trying to think if there's anything like specific from that trailer that like got me extra excited.
Stranger Things 3?
Yeah. For sure it's like integrating 11 into society is going to be a lot of fun.
Oh God, I'm so excited for that.
I like that like her and
they're leaning into the Steve and Dustin stuff.
What's the redheaded girl's name? I forget. Jerry or something? Doesn't she have like a boy's name?
I forgot.
Like a boy girl name. But like I like the fact that they're like friends. Like they seem like they have a little friendship.
She's ginger. I don't care.
You are such a dick, dude. Your own people.
Yeah.
You're like Hitler.
Yeah.
You hate your own people.
Pretty much.
Wow, you're an asshole. Whew,
it's not the first time I've gotten it.
Oh God. You know what freaked me out, dude, about this trailer? Finn Wolfhard.
Yeah, the fact that he's like 7 foot tall.
Yeah, he's like 9 feet tall, and he looks like a 90-year-old man. Her name is Max. The character's name is Max. I knew it was a boy name.
Oh yeah, well, I don't know why I forgot that because like her name was on the fucking.
Yeah, it was like really important because it was like the score on the thing.
The arcade.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think that the Dustin sort of not growing up with the rest of them is very cute. That's gonna be fun. Him and Steve, obviously. Mm-hmm. We need more Mom Steve in our lives. We talked about this a little bit.
Oh, fucking what's his name? Carrie Els, the guy from Princess Bride.
Yeah.
I don't know how to pronounce his last name. You know what I'm talking about? He's like playing like a politician. It looks like.
Yeah. And I saw someone that was like, the mayor gives off Jaws vibes. I was like, that's interesting. No, but fuck.
Oh shit, maybe that's that's part of it. Like like you have like do you know Jaws well? Like the mayor was like trying to cover.
I've been on the ride.
Right? Well, the mayor was trying to cover everything up.
Yeah, I know.
That's like
Yeah, that would be cool. Well, it like almost like you have this mayor who's like public personas that he's trying to turn the town around and bring them out of these horrible
and
events,
all of these spooky things
and
happen.
It turns out that he's an asshole. That'd be pretty interesting. Oh no, what was I just about to say? We were talking about Steve. Oh, we talked about this the other day. Can you think of a character who went from being as hateable as Steve to as lovable as quickly?
I mean, Jaime Lannister is I think a good example.
Yep, he's a good example. He's similar. I don't think he's as lovable as Steve though.
I
he
agree.
Still has things about him like that. You're like, I don't know if I'm supposed to like Jaime or not.
Well, it's also like more. I think that like on the spectrum of evilness.
That's
like,
true. He was way more evil.
He was way more evil.
Yeah.
Than,
so
than Steve was.
he like has further to go.
Steve was like
he was just a
jockey douche.
He was a high school bully.
Yeah, he was a douche.
Yeah.
And then like it ends up becoming lovable
mom. Steve,
lovable mom. Yeah, but like Jaime Lannister is a really good example.
He's a good example.
Like like it's not even necessarily like them changing, but like you're uncovering information.
You're learning more about who they are.
You're learning more about who they are, and it's like almost like your perspective on them changes. And I think it's just a characteristic of good writing, being able to do that. You know, it's not necessarily the character going 180, but your perspective on them going 180.
Yeah, that's true. I like that. Jaime Lannister has a good answer. I don't know if I can think of anyone else that does to that degree. Like, there's other things where bad guys like Piccolo. He was a bad guy.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Early on, he was a bad guy.
Yeah.
Trying to think if there's anyone. I mean, Piccolo's like kind of always a dick, though, right? Like, he's a good guy, but he's like kind of an asshole.
Yeah. He's like, you know, like if you were like a kid stumbling around a junkyard, you know what I mean? Like Piccolo's like the junkyard manager, and like he's all like gruff and telling you to get away and stuff, and then like you end up becoming friends with them, you know, like Sandlot style.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. You're talking about Sandlot, like Snape doesn't qualify. Like the perspective thing with Snape qualifies, but Snape at the end we don't like him. He's still a horrible dick. We just realized that his motivations were good. And that he was, at the end of the day, on the side of the good guys.
Well, and also it didn't like
Snape is a fascinating character.
Well, but hasn't JK also come out being like you can't say that he's 100% good or 100% bad.
Absolutely.
Like he's someone who's sort of like playing, like he's sort of going back and forth. Like, yeah, he has all these positive aspects, but look at all this dickish shit that
he's also.
You can't just because he did that good stuff, you can't ignore the bad stuff.
The bad stuff, yeah, which is true. But that's why I'm saying he doesn't qualify because he's too evil. Like he's really mean. He's so mean. He abuses children constantly. Constantly.
But I would say that's like kind of the same thing with Jaime Lannister too. Like you can't forgive him.
He's closer to
in
Snape
the same way,
than Steve. Yeah, for sure. Because he still does awful shit.
Now I would still say Jaime's worse than Snape.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah.
Because the only person that we know that Snape ever killed as part of this war was Dumbledore. Spoilers.
Oh, yeah, can
Snape
we talk
kills
about
Dumbledore.
this?
Fuck
Yikes.
off. Yes. That was a meme when we were in like middle school. People know.
What if
unless you're that
what if that same
unless you're
8-year-old
that
kid?
8-year-old kid. Now I blew it for you.
Like
Sorry,
the reason that he's not watching, what movie were we talking about? Toy Story 3. The first
Toy Stories 1 through 3.
Yeah.
It's because he's reading Harry Potter.
It's because he's reading Harry Potter, and then you just ruin.
I would say to you, hey kid, you can do both. You bitch.
Yeah.
Do them both.
He's reading Harry Potter and then in his spare time watching our podcast.
Yeah, that's weird. I don't know why that kid's here. Is it your nephew?
Huh? No, my nephew's older than that.
Oh, okay.
And
has seen Toy Stories 1 through 3?
You
better have, Chris's nephew. Yeah. I think that's interesting. I think it's a cool piece of character work, Steve.
Yeah, but I'm really excited for Stranger Things 3.
It's gonna be dope. You got any? Were there more trailers? I don't think so.
No, I don't have any.
I got another movie thing that I saw this week that I think is really interesting.
Okay.
So I was watching a YouTube video where Michael J. White is on a podcast.
Bruh.
Talking about The Dark Knight.
I was just about to
Whoa!
talk about that, dog.
How weird is that?
It's not very that like it's not that weird. YouTube just has algorithms and pushes its certain
but
aspects of
it's still
content.
kind of weird. So so I thought this was super interesting.
You watched it,
him
right?
talking about Heath Ledger.
I was literally
and working
like,
with Christopher
as
Nolan.
you started bringing that up, I was like, how can I transition this into the Michael J. White thing? Wow, that's crazy.
Oh, so you go into conversations thinking about how you can steer them to where you want them to go. Wow, that's really cool of you.
Wow. I actively think about like having good transitions between our topics.
I just actively
for the
listen.
benefit of our listeners. Yeah, I do, Kyle. If that makes me an asshole, then go ahead. You know, a wise man once said that I'm Adolf Hitler.
Is that me? Am I the wise man?
Yeah.
That's really nice of you. Thanks, Hitler. That's a good compliment. Okay,
Actually, that wise man was
All right, let's fill the people in on what this Michael J. White. So for
I
those
wanted
who
to say something ridiculous like Danny Trejo.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
All right, Danny Trejo.
Why is Danny Trejo thinks
Bring it back to Danny Trejo. Okay, so for those of you who don't know who Michael J. White is an actor and martial artist. Probably he's Spawn.
Spawn.
Maybe his most
was
known.
huge.
He was in The Dark Knight. He played one of the gangsters.
Yeah.
He's like the head of one of the gangs in The Dark Knight. He was also in Arrow. Played the Bronze Tiger in Arrow.
I didn't know he was in Arrow.
Yeah, he's been in a few episodes of Arrow. He's been in a bunch of stuff. A lot of martial arts things. I think he was in Never Back Down 2, which I've never seen.
Yes.
But I've seen the poster for on Netflix multiple times.
He's also in the Undisputed movies. You ever seen those?
No.
Undisputed. So I don't know if I've even ever seen Undisputed 1 because I think that like it's kind of the same thing as Never Back Down, where like the sequel is like a completely different person. You know?
Yeah.
And like Undisputed 2 and 3 are Michael J. White, I'm pretty sure, but Undisputed 1 is someone completely different. But really fucking fun martial arts movies where Michael J. White is in prison and he fights. I don't know if you're gonna get this, but jacked Ben Affleck, the martial artist, like he's like, so he looks like fucking Ben Affleck.
What's his name?
I don't know.
Like it's weird to say Jack's Ben Affleck because that's just Ben Affleck now that he's been Batman.
Yeah, but he like knows how to fight and shit.
Oh, okay.
He knows how to fight and shit. He's a lot like Michael J. White, and that he's like a martial artist and an actor. And he's usually used as a stuntman and shit like that. But I'm trying to think of I think that he's
which
been
Undisputed
in
is this?
Undisputed 2. But he's in like some type of foreign prison where in order like
Scott Adkins.
All of the Scott Adkins, yes. He.
You know how I knew that?
Why?
Because he looks kind of like Ben Affleck.
He looks like fucking Ben Affleck, right? There's a movie where he's in a movie with Sacha Baron Cohen, and Sacha Baron Cohen tells him that he looks like Ben Affleck.
Really?
Yeah, I'm sure that dude's probably gotten his entire life.
Yeah.
But really fucking talented martial artist.
Okay.
As well as Michael J. White, but like it's this movie set in prison. They're fucking, and all the prisoners have to fight each other. And obviously,
that's cool.
Scott Adkins plays the villain. He's like the badass dude that nobody can fucking beat.
Is Undisputed 2 as good as 7 Minutes in Heaven episode of Daredevil?
It's completely different.
It's just people in prison fighting, dude. I'm just comparing people in prison fighting. That's all.
But like this is more like a tournament.
Whoa, that's fucking
it's
weird.
It's like a tournament in prison of like people kickboxing and shit.
So it's like Luke Cage.
I really appreciate like the different styles of choreography and fighting and like the rhythm to it, right? Like, cause you know how like Daredevil has its own thing, right? Like with the 7 Minutes in Heaven episode that you just brought up, it's very real, very grounded. Like it feels like a real fight, and it's usually shot with like these long shots and stuff. Completely different from say like a John Wick or even like an even way further out there like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
John Wick is also
it's grounded, but it's mixed in with a lot of crazy stuff too.
Oh, there was another John Wick trailer this week too.
Yeah, I didn't see that.
Dude, I fucking love John Wick.
But it's also mixed in with a lot of crazy stuff too, because he's like constantly like sniping people in the heads, and there's like these bigger set pieces and stuff.
Dude, the new one looks nuts with set pieces.
Right.
There's like a motorcycle scene with like 5 dudes on motorcycles chasing John Wick, and he's got like a knife.
So it has,
and they all like are ninjas. It looks crazy.
It has like more of like a Mission Impossible-esque kind of action.
A little bit.
You get what I'm saying?
Way more believable. Like,
yeah, exactly.
I believe everything John Wick does could be done.
But Daredevil doesn't have anything that's that grandiose.
Exactly, yeah.
Like, you know that the productions themselves they have a lot of effort.
I think a big part of it with Daredevil is the amount of, like, the acting level of Charlie Cox and the stunt doubles, of like how battered they appear throughout their fights and stuff, and how he's always like getting up and he's exhausted and he's willpowering through these things. Yeah. Whereas in John Wick, it's more about like efficiency, right?
Yeah.
John Wick is about like how efficiently can I kill 30 dudes, and it's awesome.
But
there's
like,
a shot in the new John Wick trailer of choreographed dog fighting, like 2 dogs running across a room alongside Halle Berry and like jumping over a table and attacking 2 different dudes. It's amazing.
Really?
I was like, this looks so dope.
Damn.
Oh, it looks so cool.
Yeah. Okay, but like, and then there's like movies like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon that have like
surreal.
Well, it's super surreal. It's I mean, it's based in like wire fu kind of
it's
like,
almost magical what the people are doing.
Exactly. Like it's like superhero films of its own genre, and it's more poetic and graceful than anything, which is like something that Daredevil is completely not. But like Undisputed. The Undisputed movies, I've seen 2 and 3. I don't think I've seen the first one. But they have like their own rhythm to them. And there's like all of these crazy ass stunts that you see them pull off. Like these incredible fucking spinning fucking kicks and shit. Like it's really fucking fun to watch. Even if like you don't really like the movies themselves, look up the action
just
sequences.
The choreography,
the fight choreography is fucking super fun, and it has its own rhythm that you don't really like pick up in any other
that's
movies.
Cool. Anyway, let's talk about this Michael J. White video because I thought this was so interesting. Also, something you said reminded me of something else, so remind me to talk about the Shang-Chi movie after this.
Okay.
Anyway, so there was basically 2 things I thought that were really interesting about the video, and the first one was him talking about what it's like to work with Christopher Nolan and how chill it is.
Yes.
I literally wrote down, quote, they said how chill was, or they were like, what was it like working with Christopher Nolan? And he kept saying that Christopher Nolan would be like, oh, I hadn't thought about that. What do you think?
Yeah.
Of like things that seem like an auteur type, right?
Yeah.
Chris Nolan is an auteur type.
Yeah.
You would think that he would have the answers to every little thing. Because that's what you hear tons about these kinds of directors. Every little detail, you know. I think one of his questions was like, how long have we been in this room?
Yeah.
Like me and my guys. How long have we been holed up here? And he was like, I don't know. I didn't think about it. What do you think?
And another one was like, well, a lot of these guys have different accents than me. I obviously have an American accent.
And he was like, do you want me to do an accent?
Yeah.
And he,
what do you think? That's kind of crazy,
so
right?
interesting to me.
Yeah.
I never would have guessed that that's what working with Christopher Nolan was like. Not that he doesn't seem like a nice dude or anything, but he just, the type of filmmaker he is, you'd think he was a guy with all the answers.
Yeah, and that's one thing that's like super interesting about the different like directing styles. You know, you hear about David Fincher, who's very
detail-oriented, and you're going to do something 30, 40 times
exactly.
to get it perfect.
And then like there's someone like Christopher Nolan who like is,
I don't know.
They're just very laid back, like, okay, we're going to do this. Alex Garland is actually super similar in how he's like, yeah, like I don't, like people, he always says like Americans are so obsessed with the idea of an auteur, you know, like he's like, I'm not the only person here. Like for me, like you have a bunch of talented people, you let them do their thing, and then they have their own sort of hierarchies, right? But like I'm not going to sit there and micromanage people.
I think that's the best way to me. Like I think that obviously a genius can do the very I'm in charge of everything thing and make a great movie because they're a genius. But I also think that working with that person could be grating. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like Quentin Tarantino is probably fun to work with too. Yeah. Even though he probably has a little bit of that hands-on everything kind of deal, I also feel like he'd be very collaborative. And I think that, especially in movies, like there's such collaborative pieces of art that you need to involve everyone in their subjects. Like you need to have the actors involved in what they're bringing to their character. You need to have the set designers involved. You need to have the costume, like everybody needs to have their own imprint on what they're experts in and what they're bringing to the table. I think that's really cool. And I thought it was awesome to hear that Christopher Nolan is that chill. Like I was like, that's crazy. I would not have guessed that.
Well, and part of that genius is hiring the right people.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah. Knowing who to work with.
So like
Inarritu will always work with his cinematographer. What's his name?
I can't think of it.
I can't either, and I feel bad about it.
Yeah.
Or like, doesn't Christopher Nolan work with Wally Pfister like all the time? Yeah.
Or at least he did until Wally Pfister made the Transcendence, the Johnny Depp movie about AI.
Because Wally Pfister then started doing his
Wally
own things.
Wally Pfister was directed that movie, so
now he's trying to direct.
I think it might have been Dunkirk that Wally Pfister didn't do the cinematography for. There was one movie. It might have been Interstellar. I'm not sure.
Anyway, okay, cinematographer Emmanuel Lubezki. That's the cinematographer's name that Inarritu works with. At least on the
yeah.
That dude's really good at what he does.
But yeah, so like Hitchcock said, 75% of directing is good casting.
When you say Hitchcock, you mean Alfred, not Will Smith, right?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yes. So Hitchcock said 75% of directing is casting, right? Like, like having the right actors and that's also with, your crew as well, bringing in the right crew.
Yeah.
That knows what they're doing, but is also passionate enough to have their own imprint, but also not be stepping on each other's toes. Yeah.
I thought something that was really, like, you're talking about having the right crew and everything. I watched, I think I've shouted out before, the show Between the Sheets, which is on Critical Role's channel where they Brian Foster interviews people. They had on Sam Riegel's wife. What's her name? Kian something. Let me get it right so I'm not being an asshole. Kian. Nope, that's the wrong letter, Kyle. Shit, I can't remember her name. Fuck. Anyway, she's a cinematographer, and she was talking about like the process of her job, and I don't know a lot about it, so I thought it was really interesting. And she was talking about how she's different than other cinematographers in that she's very close to the actors on set. She tries really hard to figure out, what they like and to try to do her best to create a relationship with them where they can trust her to be getting the best out of them with her camera work. I just thought that was really interesting. And just the idea that, like what you're talking about, is having the right people and everyone being in sync in how you're doing the thing, right? I think that's really interesting.
Well, yeah, everybody being on the same page and understanding what they're making. Yeah. Like the Stranger Things, the creators of Stranger Things, the Duffer Brothers. The Duffer Brothers screened like E.T., Carrie, and like a few different 80s movies.
To get the vibe to the cast and crew?
Yeah, to their cast and crew.
Yeah.
So that everybody was sort of on the same page, like being like,
this is what we're going for.
This is an amalgamation of sort of all of these things. This is something that like you've kind of already seen before, but we're giving it to you in a different way.
Yeah, we're doing our own twist on it. Fresh take.
Yeah.
The other thing I thought that was really interesting about that Michael J. White video was him talking about Heath Ledger and the perception of Heath Ledger.
Yeah.
Quote, "It drives me up a wall," he said, about the way people talk about how he was consumed by the character, which that's all I've ever heard. I think
have I not talked to you about like how much that annoys me? About how much?
I don't think so.
No? I think that it's fucking irresponsible to say that because it discounts fucking like mental instability and like and mental health. Yeah. Like people like to think like, oh, he was consumed by this character, and it's like it's not true. The reason that like he would be even drawn to a character like that, you know what I mean? And the reason that he's an actor in the first place is because that there might be something missing there already, like the idea that like, oh, he like tapped into some idea of a character and it consumed him like it's like the devil, like just kind of whack.
But that's all you hear about it.
Yeah, because
of the timing of his death and how great he was.
Yeah.
So I was really surprised to hear like his perspective, Michael J. White's perspective on it, and how he almost was like angry at the fact that that's how people think of Heath Ledger. And he was he was talking about how on set he was like the nicest dude, and he would they would cut and he would break completely out. He'd be in full makeup and he would just be like, "Hey, what do you guys want to do for lunch?" Like he would just be super cool. I also thought it was really cool. He talked about like,
but that also doesn't mean that like Heath Ledger was completely happy.
No, well, obviously there was, things going on with him.
Because you hear about that shit all the time, like how happy was Robin Williams. Every time you hang out with him. But like anybody that, commits suicide or has mental health issues, like how happy they are in a majority of situations. Yeah. And then, behind closed doors when they're fucking alone with their own thoughts, they,
I really liked it. He talked about they did like a full day of filming, and I think the way he phrased it was like this side of the room. So they basically were filming all of the gangsters that were not Heath Ledger.
Yes.
And I think it's a scene with the pencil and
yes.
all that. And they basically spent an entire day filming everyone but Heath Ledger. And he went through the full 3-4 hours of going into makeup and costume just to give them the best thing to play off of. I thought that was so cool to hear about.
And a lot of people like, maybe if you're not familiar with the filmmaking process, but like you might not grasp this really, but like, so you can shoot like a scene over the course of multiple days, even weeks, right? And there are a lot of times for the benefit of time or whatever, or I mean specifically the actor's fucking sanity.
Yeah,
you know. When you're shooting something of a character and, you know, you don't see a second character, sometimes that actor won't even be there.
Yeah.
They'll just put up a fucking picture. Like, and especially if that character is going through makeup, they won't include that makeup.
Or
I just thought it was incredibly cool to hear that from Michael J. White, to grasp how hard fucking Heath Ledger worked, you know, his work ethic,
and how much
incredible.
of like a team player he was.
Exactly. Exactly.
Very selfless performer. Yeah, I thought that video was super
I heard
cool.
I don't know who said this. It was some director who was talking about Leo DiCaprio, and they said that the coolest thing about Leo was that he approached acting from like a filmmaker's point of view.
That's interesting.
That like he was he didn't act as much of like an actor as he did like a filmmaker. Like he understood the ins and outs of that process, and like just I don't know. I thought so like
it's interesting,
but like that is a good example of that kind of thing. You know, like Heath Ledger knowing, hey, like if I put on my makeup and I sit here in completely full character, I'm giving more to my actors, and they're going to have more to play off of, and it's going to end up being a better movie. And a majority, and Michael J. White himself said,
I wouldn't do it.
As someone that played Spawn, fuck that.
Yeah, that's what he said.
Yeah, so like I just thought it was I thought
very
that was
cool.
interesting.
A really cool video. I love hearing just like cool stuff about Heath Ledger. Love that dude. All right, I wanted you to remind me of Shang-Chi. I don't need you to because I remembered. Do you know what Shang-Chi is? We've talked about it before. It's the Marvel movie about the martial artist character. Yeah. So I didn't know this, but they announced a director for it.
Okay, who?
Destin Daniel Cretton, director of Short Term 12.
Okay.
I think that's interesting.
I never saw it.
It's very good.
Yeah.
Very good. Did you ever see The Glass Castle?
No.
He works with Brie Larson a lot. Is Brie Larson going to be in Shang-Chi? She could be. It could happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, he hasn't done a ton of stuff. Oh, look, another movie with Brie Larson coming out January 17th, 2020 is called Just Mercy, starring Brie Larson and Michael B. Jordan and Jamie Foxx and Tim Blake Nelson and O'Shea Jackson Jr. Yeah. Anyway, I just thought that was cool. Short Term 12 is a great movie. It's really fucking good. Brie Larson's amazing in it. But the thing I thought was interesting about it was that they didn't get a director who has like any action history. I thought, go after the type of person who might direct Undisputed. You said they were called? Like those types of movies for a movie about a martial artist. I thought that might be the route they would go, but nope. They did what seems to be Marvel's thing now, which is get people who have made like one or two smaller budget, really good projects.
Yeah.
And give them more to play with. Seems to be their thing. I mean, like Taika Waititi falls into that. The brothers. Oh my God.
Two brothers.
My head is stuck with Duffer and Cohen right now. Russo? And they're the Russo. Thank you. They're the wrong brothers. Yeah. The Russo brothers are the same thing. They were basically TV directors.
Right.
And then they were like, hey, you want to make a Captain America movie? And they haven't looked back. Now they're making all the Avengers films. So yeah, that seems to be their thing now. And I wonder if it's because they feel like they can kind of balance letting that director have their voice and kind of controlling it a little bit. Because when they tried to go bigger, right? They tried to go Edgar Wright. It kind of splashed back on them a little bit. There was a little bit too much tension.
Yeah, you can't have anybody with too much fuck you money.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
And I will say, I think Ant-Man probably would have been better as a singular film if Edgar Wright made it.
Yeah.
But I don't know what it would have taken away from the overall thing. And we'll never know. It's whatever their internal issues were. Because there's like a couple scenes in Ant-Man where you're like, this was Edgar Wright. Like the music playing in the briefcase kind of thing. Like stuff like that. Yeah. So like, I stand by that Edgar Wright Ant-Man would have been really fucking good.
Yeah.
But
Would have been cool.
Ant-Man's still a fun movie.
Would have been cool.
It's still a fun movie. And another, like they got Peyton Reed, who had made like, I think like a horror movie or something before that. Like, who's the Doctor Strange guy? Another horror director. The Conjuring guy?
Yeah.
That's yeah. So that's kind of what they do. They just get kind of small directors and give them way more toys, which is interesting.
That Michael J. White shit was really cool though. Really interesting.
Very interesting video.
He's an interesting guy, but he's also worked with the fucking best of the best.
Yep.
So that was fascinating. Well, I was watching. Yeah, I was on YouTube a lot. I watched another YouTube video that's fucking blowing up right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's got like 7 million views. I don't know why I'm watching so much. And it came out like 2 weeks ago, but it's a video of Hosier, right? Yeah, okay, Hosier.
Oh, the one of them singing
Take me
to church in like a subway or
yeah,
something?
It's in a subway, and it's Hosier and his band.
I thought that was really old.
Huh? And it was put on YouTube 2 weeks ago.
I feel like
I literally just looked at it today. Yeah. Maybe like it's from another channel or something.
I don't know. I saw that on YouTube and I was like, I feel like I've seen that like a long time ago.
The one that like YouTube's pushing now that has like 7 million views was released like 2 weeks ago, and I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, and I've seen like other things. It's like vocal coach reacting to Hosier, and I'm like, one, I don't care about that video. But vocal coach reacting to Hosier, I don't care.
I watched some of those too.
I don't care.
I watched some of those too.
It's just them being like, oh my God, so good.
No, but I wanted to go into this, because after watching that video, I watched that video like fucking 6 times in a row. I loved that video. It was just super impressive to me. I don't know if you've seen it.
Nope, haven't watched it.
His voice is fucking incredible. The people that he works with are also super talented, because it seems like what he does is, so he had background singers during this subway performance, but these background singers also weren't just singing. He had somebody that's on the keyboard that's also singing, and like I think someone had like
is the band? They're a band.
Exactly.
Isn't it just his band?
Yeah,
the band.
Yeah. Well, like I looked up the Tiny Desk. Is that yeah?
Maybe that's what I've seen.
They did a Tiny Desk Take Me to Church performance, which not as good. Interestingly enough, like it didn't have the same like gravitas that the subway performance had. But it's all of the same people playing keyboard and doing vocals as well, backup vocals. But I was it led me into like the rabbit hole of the
you fell down a YouTube hole.
No, well, not a YouTube hole, but like the rabbit hole of the lyrics of the song itself.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And like trying to interpret them, and like this is something that I've thought about for a while as far as like the interpretation of music, because like
there was a big scandal with that song when it was popular. Among the church communities,
right? Because it's very anti-religious.
Yeah,
it's very anti-religious.
And I remember that song came on the radio and my mom changed the channel.
But the reason that the song blew up itself is because of the music video.
Oh yeah.
The music video, Hosier was a struggling artist at the time, but the music video was set in like Russia or something like that, and it was basically like it showed this like anti-religious message and like the anti-gay oppression basically
in Russia,
in Russia. But like it showed guys kissing and basically like trying to run away from this oppression and shit. It was a really interesting video. But so when I first heard "Take Me to Church," and this happens to me with a lot of music, just because I'm not crazy educated, and I also don't have a lot of like, I'm not very like super active when I listen to lyrics of songs. So there's a lot of times where it'll take me fucking years to really pick up what a song's about.
You have superstitions.
But like I'll be straight up wrong. And even when I'm right, like I don't have faith that I'm right.
Yeah.
So like I knew like the first time that I heard this song, I was like, oh, this song's about sex. The song's about fucking. And like now, like revisiting it, like going into like right before I fucking went into Genius, you know what I mean? I was like, oh, but it's what is it actually about? It's not actually about fucking. And then I look it up, and then Hostier's like, no, it's about sex.
Yeah, for sure.
It's about sex. And about like the oppression that comes from it. But yeah, like I wanted to talk about interpretation, the interpretation of music, and lead to other things. I remember in high school, in one of my English classes, I had a pretty strict English teacher. I won't say her name.
Start with a V?
Huh?
Did it start with a V?
No.
Oh.
So, this teacher told everyone in the class, everything that we're going to be reading has a specific intention. It has a specific intention. It is only to be interpreted one way. And
okay, interesting.
That reaction that you're having right now is the one that I had while I was sitting in class. And I raised my hand. I was like, so there's only one interpretation, and if we don't interpret it that way, then we're wrong.
Yeah.
And she says yes. And I was like, okay. And a lot of people actually really like this teacher too, like our fellow students and shit. But
hello, fellow children.
She was also someone who sort of operated in teaching through fear. I know that sounds kind of ridiculous. And I think that like outside of the class, she was actually a really good person. But as a teacher, she was very like, I will scare you into getting an A in this class. But
just type the name for me.
No, I'm not going to do that.
Because I feel like I know who it is, but I just have their name wrong. We went to high school together. So yeah.
This does nothing.
Okay, yeah. I just had the name wrong.
Yeah.
Yep, okay. Yep. No, now that's for my peace of mind. Okay. That's so I don't go nuts.
All right. So I struggled through that class.
Yeah.
For a lot of reasons.
That was an AP English?
It might have been.
Right.
I'm not going to say whether it was or not.
Well, no, because when you take those kinds of classes, there's more demanded of you as a student.
True.
Yeah.
I mean, because it's basically a college course. And like a lot of my issues in that class wasn't just from her. I mean, I was kind of spoiled and fucking thought that I was smarter than I was.
Oh, yeah.
But I disagreed with that notion, and I still disagree with it today. And I remember even back in the day, I was talking to one of the guys that we played football with.
Okay.
But I was talking to him about how whack that idea was, and he was like, "Have you ever seen the South Park episode of Scrody McBoogerballs?" Do you know this episode?
No, but that's just funny.
For those for you and for those that don't know the episode, The Tale of Scrody McBoogerballs, it is a South Park episode about the kids reading not To Kill a Mockingbird. The Catcher in the Rye.
Okay.
Because The Catcher in the Rye was in real life as well as in South Park was something that was banned from school districts.
Yeah. That's right. That's right. Yeah.
And they basically lifted the ban in order for the school to read it. And the kids got all fucking hype and excited and everything because they were like, we get to read the banned book. You know, it's supposed to be so bad.
End up, like, not liking it or something?
And then, so basically Cartman's like, you're telling me that this book was banned and it also led to the murder of the king of hippies? Because the person that killed John Lennon was apparently inspired by The Catcher in the Rye.
Okay.
And Cartman's like, can we read this right now, please? But they end up reading the book, and they're like incredibly disappointed with how it went, and like the fact that like they're like it's just this one fucking kid complaining about how phony everybody is. It's lame as shit. So what they do is they write the most fucked up book of all time called The Tale of Scrody McBoogerballs, right? And their sole intention is to gross out and disgust and just be as fucked up as possible. But they hide this book in one of their sock drawers, and one of the moms finds it, and the mom reads it and throws up throughout the entire thing. And then she takes it to Stan, right? To Stan Marsh. Or not Stan, to Randy, to the dad.
Oh,
right?
okay.
She takes it to Randy and is like, Randy, you have to read this. This is the best book of all time. She's like, it's disgusting and gross and so visceral, and the characterization is so what ends up happening is all of the parents start reading this book, passing it around, throwing up while they're reading it. They end up getting the boys together, and the boys are like, oh no, we're getting in trouble. We're just gonna say that Butters wrote the whole thing. But like they're like, Butters, you know that you while you were sleepwalking you wrote this book, right? And Butter's like, oh, I didn't know that I did that, but I guess, oh no, my parents are gonna be so mad. And so they all get together, right? And fucking all the kids are like, no, Butters did it. And they're like, Butters, this is one of the greatest books of all time. He's like, oh well, I didn't know that I did it.
Yeah.
Really. And fucking. They end up publishing this book, and it gets like fucking. It's a worldwide phenomenon. People love it. Throwing up. It's in like 16 different languages, and there's shots of fucking Chinese people that are reading it and then throwing up while they're doing it. But it gets to this point where the kids are so pissed off that they're not getting credit. That they try to go to the Supreme Court to get this book banned. And the Supreme Court is telling them, like, look, I think you just don't understand the message behind this book. And the Supreme Court, like the Republicans, the Democrats are also are disagreeing with each other. Like, oh no, this is the most left-wing book. Oh, you obviously didn't read it. You didn't interpret it the right way. And all of the kids are like, look, could it just be possible that the author of this book was just trying to be as fucked up as possible? And they were like, oh, well, you obviously don't know anything.
Yeah.
No, but like it was a fucking brilliant parody of like interpretation and how people look at things, and like the the inherent like motivation to try and assign meaning to something that may or may not have it. Like there's I'm not sure if it's true or not. I looked it up before this, but there's in a book that a guy wrote about the Beatles and John Lennon. Apparently there was a story about John Lennon writing the song "I Am a Walrus," I Am the Walrus. Do you know this song?
Yeah.
But basically the chorus goes, I am the Eggman, you are the Eggman, I am the Walrus, goo goo ka-choo.
Goo goo
right?
ka-choo.
That's the chorus. It's basically nonsense, right? But apparently it was John Lennon responding to a story of like his former school, like basically teaching the music and like trying to interpret the music of the Beatles and what they're trying to say and everything. So he was like, let them fucking figure this one out. So he put out "I Am the
Also,
Walrus."
I'm pretty sure the Beatles were on acid a lot. So there's that. Yeah.
And also I tried to find an interview of Freddie Mercury talking about this, and I couldn't really find it. I think I watched it in high school, but it was Freddie Mercury talking about Bohemian Rhapsody and how, like, the interpretation of music and how he was just like, I think that it's for everyone else to interpret. I don't think that it's, like what I say kind of doesn't matter.
Which we kind of talked about that a little bit last week.
Yeah, did we?
I think so. I think it was last week. The idea of like once you release the art into the world, it's not just yours anymore to decide what it means.
Yeah. Max Landis talks about that with Chronicle.
Yep.
Because there's a specific. I mean, we're not going to spoil Chronicle here.
Love Chronicle.
Yeah. I love it too, obviously. But there's a specific plot point in Chronicle where there is like there's debate over whether or not a certain character did a certain thing.
Yep.
And Max Landis has come out and been like, no, like it's not that.
Yeah.
Like,
I didn't mean it that way.
But he also said like, you guys aren't wrong.
Yeah.
Like it's no longer mine anymore. I love the fact that people are taking their own interpretations of it. Yeah. But I don't know. It's just it's something that I thought a lot about, and I think that it's I don't know. I think it's like it's tough for me to interpret things. I don't know why. I feel like a majority of the shit that I listen to, especially with like music, interpreting lyrics, like I'm just like I feel like I'm wrong 100% of the time.
I mean, I just really wonder what Mo Bamba's about. That's what I wonder. Like
I think it's about existentialism.
I've got Hose. Colin.
I think that Sheck West is an absurdist.
Yeah.
And I believe that he's, questioning the existence of life. He's
but
actually
it's
similar to Albert Camus.
It's the fact that they're Colin that really gets me, right? What does that mean?
That's why I stick to the dumb shit, dude. You don't got to think about it.
Yeah. I think, I don't really know. I don't have many thoughts on the subject, I don't think.
On the interpretation of art?
Just, you take what you take from it. It's kind of like we were talking about in our spoiler episode about the end of True Detective Season 3.
Yeah.
What you take from that final shot is completely up to you.
Yeah, that's why we were talking about it.
Yeah, and there's no like right or wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I guess you could be wrong. Like, you could just be blatantly wrong. Like, you could be like, that means there's aliens.
Well, but a lot of people would say like, oh, well, like the author's intention is this, therefore that is the...
The only way you can know that is if the author has come out and said it.
Exactly. But like, I would even disagree with that. Like, I don't even think just because the author says, oh, it's this, like that it's necessarily the right thing. Like, yeah, sure. Like there is that, like that, the message from God theory, that like you're getting it straight from the source. Therefore, why would anything else be different? You know what I mean? But like Max Landis said, like, no, I wrote it with the intention of this, but it's no longer mine anymore.
Yeah.
Like,
I think there can be pushback on that.
There's also a similar.
It's also a movie, so it's a little bit different than like a book.
Okay.
Because like we were talking about how movies are so collaborative. So a big part of that coming across the way it did in Chronicle is probably a lot on
Dane DeHaan?
No, the director, Josh Trank.
Mm-hmm.
Like the way that they filmed it made it a little bit more questionable what happened. Mm-hmm. Whereas maybe if it had been in a novel, it would have been more explicit.
Yeah.
Because you would have been inside the characters' heads and you would have known what was happening. So I don't know. Like I feel like if this is something that's been sort of bothering me a little bit lately. J.K. Rowling comes out and says things about the world, the wizarding world sometimes, right? And people have been freaking out about it, being like, she needs to shut up. She needs to stop. She needs to, just stick to writing and stop just. And they'll say things like she needs just to stop saying things without being asked. But she usually is answering reporters' questions. Is the thing. People just take these things completely out of context of what they'll see a quote on Twitter and think that she just was like woke up in the morning and was like, "I'm going to tell you how wizards got rid of shit." Like, what's going on? But it's like, if J.K. Rowling tells me something about the wizarding world and how it works, that I believe that's true to me. Like that's the thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. Interpretation's a little different than that because it's not like about how things work. It's about what things mean. But yeah, it's interesting. But that stuff with her it drives me like the amount of anger that people have towards her. The most recent one is because
it's super similar to like George Lucas.
She was quoted as saying that Dumbledore and Grindelwald had an intense sexual relationship. That was the quote. But it was pulled from a longer interview.
Yeah.
Where someone literally asked her, like, what was the extent of their relationship?
Yeah. And
she just answered them.
Yeah.
And then people got mad at her, and they were like, it doesn't mean anything until you put it in the books or the movies. One, there's 3 movies left in this series. They're going to dig into it.
Yeah.
I have no doubt about that. 2, it's been implied already. Like, I get, like, the idea of being like, if you are a minority person and you want to see your lifestyle or your, the thing that you relate to be portrayed in media. I get that. I understand it. But I don't think that they've done anything in the movies or in the books. Like if Grindelwald was a woman, I don't think things would have been any different than they have been so far. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay.
I don't think that they've been hiding the fact that they clearly were in love with each other. Like that seems super obvious to me when I read the books or when I watch the movies.
Okay.
But I don't know. Maybe
do you feel like the knowledge that you have now, it's kind of like
clouding it? Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, it's leading you down. It's like a bias, you know. Like,
it might be.
You know, now that you're.
But I
rereading
definitely
it, you're
think
like, that's why.
Like especially in the most recent movie, it seems really obvious to me.
Yeah.
It's like they do those flashback things with them like longingly staring at each other. Like that is enough in a regular TV show or movie to create a ship.
Yeah.
Amongst like just one longing glance. If that's enough for you to make up something that isn't in a character at all, like for example, Voltron fans. If like. If someone like making a joke about one character is enough for you to think that they're gay and in love with each other when they're not, it's just not what the character. There's literally been no evidence to that between these specific characters. If that's enough for you to make that your thing that you buy into, then what's happened with Grindelwald and Dumbledore is more than enough. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, and the idea that like if it's not in the books or the movies, then it doesn't exist is a kind of ridiculous thing. Especially for Harry Potter, because one of the funnest things about Harry Potter is the fucking the
depth of the world.
Exactly. The breadth, the length,
the width. And like a lot of people, they subscribe to the idea that like she just makes it up. She's like, oh no, she put that in after. She said afterward that Dumbledore is gay.
I don't really understand.
And like even to the people that got mad when they casted an African American girl as Hermione in The Cursed Child, which I don't want to talk about The Cursed Child, but anyway. And she came out and said it's fine. She was never strictly described as white in the books, which is technically true. Technically. She literally like pasted the description of Hermione. Bushy hair, big teeth. Basically how she's described. But like that sort of leans into the interpretation thing, right? Like you can be a little bit more loose with the interpretations of things, with doing stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's been bothering me lately. That it seems to be like, you know how the internet circle jerk always comes back around? It's back.
Exactly.
It's currently around on J.K. Rowling.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It like there's a
and it's dumb. Like,
well, like Reddit, I feel like the function of Reddit, right? And the kind of medium it is kind of perpetuates
it's not just
that.
Reddit though. I'm talking about
like I would agree, but I think Reddit's like, a good example.
It's
of it.
way more toxic on Twitter towards her than it is on Reddit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But a lot of things like that, because it exists on Reddit.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Right now there's a fucking witch hunt against Rachel Nichols because
really,
yeah. There's a witch hunt against Rachel Nichols right now because she said on The Jump that they were talking about Klay Thompson and him being an underrated defender. And the fact that like he had never made an all NBA defensive team.
He hasn't?
He hasn't.
Whoa,
right?
I would not have guessed that.
But she said like, no, like I voted for him. She's only had 2 years where she's been able to vote for all NBA teams, and she hasn't voted for Klay Thompson. But she said twice during The Jump that she did. And people are like, she's lying. Fucking like, there's just a huge, like, there's a fucking post on RNBA right now that has over 3,000 upvotes of just these fucking complete idiots being like let's fucking hunt her
attack
down.
her.
Let's
yeah.
attack her for lying.
All those Klay stands.
She could
dude.
literally just be mistaken.
Yeah,
like,
she might have just forgotten.
I don't think that people fucking give enough credit to us. Us. There's probably 1,000 things that you could fucking pick out about the things that I say or you say because we put out fucking 2 to 3 hours of content a week of just us fucking talking. Like, there's gonna be some shit that is complete bullshit.
Yeah.
That like stuff that I look back on, I'm like, why the fuck did I say that?
Yeah, like me not knowing what.
Why the fuck did I say
me not
that
knowing
the 76ers played Robert Covington at the 2 guard?
Yeah.
Why did I ever say that? That's
or like
not
me
true.
not knowing what a llama is.
Yeah. Well, like you could just be mistaken. The fucking like the fact that like we're supposed to be computers and like you know if we say something that like we're mistaken about you know on camera or whatever that we're like intentionally lying,
and it's kind of
especially if like okay. She lied about fucking voting for, you know, if it was absolutely intentional, like, and she was trying to get away with something, you know, even though all of that shit's public record.
Even then, right, part of her career is having good relationships with all the players.
Yeah.
So she doesn't want to publicly present herself of being like, she doesn't think that Klay Thompson is a great defender. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's even if that's what she was doing, that's probably where it came from. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She wasn't like just trying to like be a liar.
Well, I just don't think that there's any malicious intent.
Yeah, exactly.
And people are like trying to like say that like oh, I knew that fucking Rachel Nichols was a piece of shit from the jump.
Ha, good one. You're real funny.
Yeah, it's fucking.
Rachel Nichols is damn good at her job. That's what I think.
Yeah,
I think she's really good at her job.
Yeah,
that's like the people just hate ESPN voraciously.
Yeah.
That's my dictionary word of the day right there. Voraciously hate ESPN.
Yeah.
And it's so over the top. Like, it's like, you need to chill the fuck out. They're like, I miss back when I was a kid when all ESPN was highlights and real analysis. Okay.
I feel like a lot of that is just bullshit, though.
Well, I think it's always been, ESPN has always been the way it is now, but now you're older and you understand what's happening.
Yeah.
Like, when you were a kid, you didn't pay attention to the 10 minutes in between the highlights to figure out
you were just like, oh, these are
just making pop culture references and being funny and giving their opinions on things. You just didn't process it. It's always been like that.
Like, it might be...
Stuart Scott did the same stuff Scott Van Pelt does, and they're both amazing at what they do.
But I would say that there is more bullshit, though. You know, like the fact... Like, do you think that Skip Bayless would exist?
No, I will definitely... adhere to the idea that there is more bullshit now.
Yeah.
I think that the hot take culture is real.
Right.
But it's because people click on it.
Yeah.
It's our own damn fault.
And I think that it's overblown too.
Yeah.
Well, and a lot of people will click on it just to talk shit about it.
Yeah.
But attention is attention.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If you just
Nielsen ratings don't fucking like weed out like all of the negative attention.
Fuck Nielsen ratings. First of all, it's a stupid process.
Yeah.
Second of all, like. I don't watch First Take because I don't like it. Mm-hmm. If everyone who didn't actually like the people who say they don't like First Take but actually thrive on it, they're the problem. You know what I mean? Like they're the ones going like I fucking hate First Take and I hate Stephen A. Smith and I hate the hot takes, but you keep watching it and talking about it and sharing things from it.
Yeah.
That keeps it alive.
Yeah. You're feeding
it. Yeah. Drives me nuts. Just ignore it. If you don't like something, just ignore it. It's like the fact that people
admit that it's a guilty pleasure.
Yeah. Like the fact that people can't wrap their heads around the fact that not everything that exists in the world needs to adhere to their tastes and ideals drives me bananas. If you don't like something, just ignore it.
Yeah.
If you love watching ESPN's Happy Hour, but you hate Pablo Torre, just don't watch High Noon. Watch the other shows. It's fine. There's so much stuff. There's other sports channels. There's podcasts. There is an endless amount of stuff for you to find. Just find the stuff you like and like it. Drives me crazy.
Yeah, people can get nuts.
You want to talk about any sports stuff real quick?
Do you have any sports stuff?
I don't. I thought there's a couple UFC things.
Oh, okay.
One, we saw that knockout from last night.
Son of a bitch. We're going to have to do this again.
Anthony Pettis. We didn't watch the fights last night, but we saw that highlight. Him knocking out Wonder Boy.
First time Wonder Boy's ever been knocked out.
That's Anthony Pettis' first knockout since like 2013.
Which is surprising.
He moved back up to 70.
Yeah.
Weight cuts are real, man. I wonder if he'll stay there.
I would have to watch that.
It seems reasonable. He looked pretty bloody. That fight was probably pretty back and forth. Anthony Pettis looked pretty messed up, but that was a sweet knockout.
And it's also fucking Wonder Boy. You know?
Yeah,
you can't really fault Anthony Pettis.
Yeah, Wonder Boy's gonna pick
he might have been
apart.
fighting a great fight and still been getting clipped by Wonder Boy.
Wonder Boy's feet. Yeah, that is just this tight knockout. But I wanted to talk about the TJ Dillashaw thing.
Okay. Yeah.
So TJ popped potentially, I guess. They're not done with the science of it yet. We don't know how the science works. We don't know the process. So we can't, we're not experts on, sampling and stuff like that. He did an interesting thing and he got out ahead of it. He basically came out and said, something popped up on one of my tests before the last fight. I am going to relinquish my title, and we're going to deal, me and my team are going to deal with this, as more information comes, but basically punished himself before anyone else could, which is interesting.
Yeah, I found it kind of weird.
Mm-hmm. I thought at first it was because it happened, and I was like, that's a class move of him, if he did something wrong and he got caught and then he gave up the thing. But the fact that that's not even done with the science is so weird.
Well, and the fact that he could be exonerated or whatever, right? And still like,
usually what ends up happening is even if you do it by accident, they still give you like 6 months.
Yeah, retroactively, which I find like
it's always retroactive.
Weird.
It's always retroactive to when you took the test, which if it wasn't would be awful. If you think about it,
it would be. But like, why not just make the
say
shorter,
how much time is left?
Yeah,
just be like, you have this much left on your sentence. Yeah. But it almost makes me more likely to believe him that if it was something that he did it by accident, it was a tainted supplement or something, which seems to happen so often. And I'm not the type of person.
It does kind of.
I'm not a conspiracist. I don't subscribe.
Conspiracy theorist?
I don't subscribe to conspiracy very often. I don't sit around and go, I don't immediately believe that anyone who says they took a tainted supplement or something like that is lying. I prefer to take people for their word until they prove to me that they can't be taken for their word. You know what I mean? So if this comes through and then TJ is like, basically what he said was they're going to look into everything and to see where this came from, implying that they think it was probably a tainted supplement. I'm not going to be like, well, TJ's a cheater. I think TJ took steroids, blah, blah, blah. For the most part, because if you're still taking steroids on purpose in the UFC, you're an idiot. You're so dumb. They're so strict about it now. Like, it's crazy. You're going to get caught. People get caught for not doing it on purpose all the time.
Yeah.
You're going to get caught if you're doing it on purpose. Especially because they have it now where you can't even, they catch you microdosing and everything now. They've closed the loopholes, it seems. But, I feel like him doing this makes me even more likely to believe him when the final facts come out.
Makes you give him the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, benefit of the doubt. Of being like, he probably took some creatine or something that had something in it.
Right.
Something he's allowed to take that was traced with something else because it all gets cooked up and it's the way it works is so crazy. But yeah, it's a bummer. It's always a bummer when this happens to the higher end fighters.
Do you feel like this is to the benefit of the sport?
Being so strict, aggressive over steroid use?
Yeah.
I think in the long run, yes. I think they almost have to retrain their workforce. It's kind of what it's like. It's like when a factory upgrades and they kind of, how they talk about how factories lose jobs because the jobs on the line get lost because they bring in machines that do the jobs. It's almost like they brought in machines to do the jobs, and you have to retrain the workforce to use the machines rather than build the actual car.
Yeah, like when you have an increase in technology and you get growing pains.
Why are you looking at the camera after you say that? Are you quoting something?
No, because that's what's happening with us.
Oh, wow. Woo! Right over my head. Wow. Yeah, that's true. But yeah, I kind of think it's like that. I kind of feel like in the long term, in terms of integrity of sport, it's better.
But do you
also because was it on the show we talked about this recently? The sort of the old purist idea of boxing being more, I don't know what the right word is, honorable than MMA, sort of. And this idea that all MMA is brawling and senseless violence, whereas boxing is an art form and a true sport. And it's obviously we don't agree with that, but I think that this in the long term will sort of lead towards those people having to look at the sport a different way.
Yeah. I agree with you. Like, it definitely does aid in sort of changing the philosophies of those who think that it's just that it's human cockfighting.
Yeah,
and that the implementation of like rules like what USADA has done, as well as like having gloves instead of not having gloves, which obviously like there's Joe Rogan believes that they shouldn't have gloves.
Yeah, they shouldn't, and they should fight on a football field.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. Just like there's a huge part of me that's like, if everyone just did everything, if you just had no rules at all,
But I think that also goes. It's like rules in football. You have to protect your own athletes from themselves.
That's where it gets weird, right?
Because steroids aren't good for you.
I think it depends, right?
I'm not an expert. I don't know.
I mean, I watched a documentary called Bigger, Faster, Stronger, which was pretty interesting, but it like sort of went into the demonization of steroids, and like obviously like it's easy for you to think, steroids not allowed in big sport, therefore steroids equal bad.
Yeah. It's like actors use them all the time, like as a part of getting big for roles. Like, there's no way that Ben Affleck wasn't on steroids to get as big as he was for Batman.
Well, but like you can, like, there's doctors that prescribe steroids for specific things.
They can help you with different health issues too. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not a doctor, so
but I'm talking about people who are in perfectly good health, professional athletes, taking a bunch of steroids. I think it like messes with your liver and shit like that. Like, there's side effects to it.
Yeah, there's obviously
there's health side effects, and you kind of have to protect athletes from themselves when it comes to getting the upper hand, because athletes will go to whatever limits it takes to keep being athletes. Right. It's a job where you don't just come into work 9 to 5 every day and come back, you don't have HR, and all that stuff. If you don't cut it, you get cut. So they look for anything they can to keep up.
And is that the line? Is that the line of
steroids the line?
Is steroids the line? I mean, because like you're talking about protecting an athlete from themselves, right?
Yes, that's part of it. But I also think that just in terms of, like, to me, a UFC if I knew everyone was on steroids, it wouldn't be the same. Just that's not wholly you. You know what I mean?
Because there's another thing that is, I would say, just as bad. The cutting of weight.
Yeah, weight cutting.
Which is completely legal.
Yeah.
But
is also something that is having a push to, if not get rid of, to limit. Having like legal weights for each person individually to fight at based on their body composition and what is healthy for them, which I think they should implement that shit.
I agree. I would advocate that. I think that it does that thing of protecting fighters from themselves, but I think it also sort of ensures, like, I think that there's a business side of it too, that it ensures specific fights into happening, like there's a lot of, because of the nature of the UFC and of MMA, like there's a lot of things that can go down that can prevent a fight from happening. Probably the biggest one is injury, right?
Or missing weight.
But another one, missing weight and the health conditions, the negative health effects.
Yeah, sometimes people will cut weight. They'll cut to make weight the day before, and it's such an unhealthy weight cut that they're then taken to the hospital.
Exactly.
To recover, and they miss the fight.
Khabib is a perfect example of that.
Yep.
That there's been
it just happened to Robert Whittaker. I don't know if that was the result of a weight cut or if it was just a health issue.
I thought he got hurt.
I don't remember. But it was. I don't remember. But it was something like literally the night before they were like, he can't fight. He had to go to the hospital and have surgery.
But yeah, because like that's something that there is no regulations that enforce, like you can only cut a certain amount of weight, which, I mean, there's other organizations that have gone out and have served as examples of, of how to implement a process like that. Fucking, they do that. They did that in high school wrestling.
Yeah. At the beginning of the season, you have to qualify for a weight.
Exactly. Well, yeah, exactly. And between tournaments, they basically take down your weight. It goes into a system. I forget what it was called. But like, so I wrestled at 160, and like towards the middle of the year, because like I went back and forth, and I was like, I want to wrestle 152, and then I was like, no, I'm gonna wrestle 160, and then towards like the middle of the season, I was like, I want to go back to 152, and my coach was like, all right, you can do that, but you can only wrestle 160 for a certain amount of time, right? But like you have to weigh in below 160.
Yeah,
you have to realize that. So you can eventually get to 152. So you're going to be wrestling 160, but weighing in at 154. That way that you can end up weighing in at 152 and wrestle at 152.
You have to show like a gradual progression to the weight you want
to be at. Exactly. Like, so they take the amount of fat content that you have in your body at the beginning of the season, and then they align that with every time that you weigh in for a tournament. And like you're only allowed to lose a certain amount of weight. And it was a pretty good system.
Now, as a wrestler, why did you want to wrestle 52 over 60? What goes into the?
I thought it was too small.
That's what's in the.
So my junior year,
the mentality of cutting weight.
My junior year, I wrestled 160, but it was out of the guy that was wrestling 152 was a stud.
Was better. Yeah.
Well, he was a stud. There was a good chance.
Was that Max?
No, Max wrestled above me.
Oh.
It was Andy Veens. Sup, Andy? He's probably not listening to this, but whatever. Andy wrestled 152 that year, so I wrestled 160, and there was for sure benefits of me wrestling 160 versus 152.
Were you quicker?
As a smaller guy, and I wasn't cutting weight in order to make 160.
Yeah, so you were fully healthy.
I don't think that the being quicker was the biggest advantage. I think the biggest advantage is stamina. It's conditioning. Like there was guys that I was wrestling who, at the beginning of the year, I was wrestling at 160 and was getting blown out by.
Yeah, but the rigors of a full season.
But once I got to districts and regionals, I was wrestling them. Like there was one specific time I wrestled this one guy, lost by 12 the first time that I wrestled him at Flagler towards the beginning of the year.
And then you beat him in...
I didn't beat him, but I lost by 1 point.
Wow. That's crazy.
But so it was just a lot closer. Obviously, I didn't beat him. It wasn't enough of an advantage for me to take.
And that's why you wanted to go back down to 52?
My senior year, there was a lot
went into your senior year.
There was a lot of things
There's
going
beef there. But
I mean, I don't even necessarily beef. There was a lot of drama, and there was a lot of... I mean, that was the emergence of my fucking psychosis in senior year. Me realizing how fucking crazy I was.
But no, I'm really wondering, so the mentality of wanting to wrestle at a lower weight or fight for a fighter at a lower weight is literally just to feel like you have a size advantage.
You want to be bigger, faster, and stronger than everybody else.
Yeah.
And a way to ensure
which
that
is so interesting because I grew up playing football.
Right.
You want to be heavier. Depending
but that's because
depending on your position. Right? There's no. Well, that's the thing. So, like in Pop Warner, growing up, there are weight limits, and then there's the older, lighter rule throughout Pop Warner, which is like if you're 13, you can play with the 11 and 12-year-olds if you get you have to weigh 20 pounds less than them, because when you're that young, a year is actually a lot in terms of strength and sort of stuff like that. So I was almost always trying to be an older, lighter when I was in Pop Warner. And there was actually a year where I had to cut weight to be able to do it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we had a couple of those guys.
Yeah. And I, growing up, I mostly played defensive line and fullback and stuff like that. So I was always pretty big for my age. And then when I got to high school, I played freshman year I played Pop Warner one final year. Our team stayed together for one final season. And then sophomore year, I think I played at... I want to say it was 185 I played at. 180, 185. Junior year, basically, I was the best shape I was ever in. I think I weighed 195. And I was in really good shape that year. I tested very well on Coach Jenkins's little test thing they did. They timed us in the 40 and your 3-cone and your shuttle drill, and then your bench, your squat, and your power clean.
Right.
Your height and your weight, and they put it all in some sort of algorithm, and they gave you a score, and I had a really good score. Mostly, I think, because my shuttle time was so good. That was an amazing shuttle time. Second best on the team. I don't know how I did it. Anyway, it was I was kind of small, though, for the positions I played. I was a defensive end, and I was kind of small. And then I tore my ACL junior. When I came back, I was way heavier. And partially because the coach was like, we need you to gain weight to play tight end. So like I think I ended up playing at 215 senior year. So it's like weird fluctuation, but it's weird the difference in sports like that, how when you put a weight limit, it sort of changes the mentality to the reverse, where you want to diminish yourself more to gain an advantage. It's really interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's just it's a topic of debate as far as like,
well, how much is too much?
How much is too much? And like, what's the law of, like, what are the diminishing returns that you're getting?
Yeah,
if
when are you
too much weight?
When are you giving up too much of your stamina and your energy to gain size advantage, basically? Yeah. It's interesting. What if they just change the rule to you fight what you weigh? Like you have to. Would that work?
So Ben Askren has talked about this, about the different promotions.
He doesn't look like he cuts weight.
Huh?
He doesn't look like he cuts weight.
No, but I mean, he's pretty. He's a huge advocate for people fighting at whatever their weight is.
That's what I mean. He seems like he's that kind of person.
He has talked about different promotions and how basically like they'll like it seems like similar to what USADA does. But like instead of it being drugs, it being your weight. Okay. Right? Like constantly managing your weight and if you're what you're expanding to, what you're getting down to.
It's really interesting.
And the allowable loss, basically.
Yeah, and I wonder, like, all of these things with UFC being so linked to ESPN now, it's going to make it even bigger and probably more respectable of a sport to people who didn't respect it before. I wonder if that will affect them trying to put more of these sorts of limitations on things to try to protect their own fighters and to have a more like integrity-driven product, if that makes sense. It's interesting. Did you see that they're moving pay-per-views all to ESPN Plus, like permanently?
Really?
Yeah.
Are they doing away with Fight Pass?
I don't know.
That's what you mean, right? Like they're going to take all of the bigger UFC fights and then put them on ESPN Plus?
Yeah.
Before they were sick.
Before it was like ESPN Plus was like the equivalent to the Fox Sports cards. You know what I mean?
Right.
Or like the big Fox cards, and then they would put like the pay-per-views would still be pay-per-view. I think they are changing it to everything being ESPN Plus now, which is pretty cool. If you just subscribe to ESPN Plus,
I kind of hope that because like UFC Fight Pass sucks, man.
Yeah,
I think that
you
it's
always
bad.
had the bummer with it.
Well,
I don't know if they're getting rid of Fight
theory,
Pass because they might keep. I don't know if ESPN Plus has all of the things that Fight Pass has.
It's also been a bit since I had ESPN or UFC Fight Pass. Yeah. But there was just my biggest issue was, okay, this fight just happened, right? I want to go watch this fight. You know, UFC 236, right? That was John Jones.
I think so, yeah.
If I wanted to go like onto UFC Fight Pass right now and watch John Jones, like I couldn't do it because they would postpone putting it on Fight Pass
make you wait.
for fucking months,
which is so weird. Like
it's stupid.
It's a sport. Once it's over,
put it up.
You've lost the value of not having it, right?
Yeah.
Like it's cool. I get it. If you want to delay it a day, being like you can't see the thing until the next day if you don't buy the pay-per-view.
Just the technical aspect of editing, making sure everything's put together, that the audio is right. Maybe you want the product to be a little bit better than what you shot live. That's cool with me, you know, even if it takes a week, you know, but the fact that like I was trying to look up, you know, guys' most recent fights, you know what I mean? Like, you know, fucking Anderson Silva has a fight coming up. So I want to look up his last two fights and I can't do it. Yeah. I can't watch his last two fights, even though I have UFC Fight Pass, which is a product that I'm paying for this reason, right? It's whack. It was.
Yeah, I don't know if it's changed led to me or if they still use it or not.
It led to me not having it anymore.
Yeah, so. you got rid of it. Yeah, I don't know if they've moved that kind of stuff to ESPN Plus. If they have a big backlog now of old UFC, that would be really cool. Dude, ESPN Plus seems like a quality product. Yeah. Like they have a lot of stuff on there. Like just for live UFC events and detail, it seems like it's worth, I don't know, what is it, like $8 a month or something? That seems worth it. I haven't gotten it. I don't know what its interface is like. I don't know what it, you know, the other stuff they provide is like, but just the quality of those things alone is worth the price of admission. Yeah. Plus, I think you can get you can watch all their shows. Like you can be like, oh, I missed the jump today. Go watch it on YouTube. I think so. Not positive, but I think. Yeah. I don't know if there's. I mean, like obviously the tournament's going on.
NCAA.
Yeah. We've got our bracket challenge going.
I watched the second half of Murray State versus FSU yesterday. That was pretty much the only.
Job played really well though.
Job played really well. Like I didn't really get to see a lot of. Apparently he just fucking started off hot. Hit like 4 threes in the beginning of the beginning of the game. But in the second half, they just looked so fucking tired.
He did a good job of solidifying himself as a top 3 pick. Like, if there was anyone going into the tournament that was like, I don't believe in John Morant until I see him against better competition. You've seen it. The kid's got the goods. You know what I mean?
Right. I fucking. So he's supposed to be 6'3", right? 6'4", right? And the fact that Kobe White is 6'5", I don't buy it.
You just don't buy it. You just don't believe it.
Well, like we literally had a conversation for our listeners out there. Me and Kyle.
Well, because I was asking you if you'd be cool with the Magic drafting Kobe White. Yeah. He seems like the type of player that one would fit John Hammond's ideal build and size and speed. But you were like, no, he's too small. And I was like, no, he's definitely tall. And you guessed that he was like 6'2". And I Googled it, and I said he's 6'5", and you didn't. You still don't believe it.
I don't fucking buy it. I don't buy that he's 6'5".
Do you think they measured to the top of his afro?
They must. They fucking must. Because I don't buy that he's 6'5". When I see him play, I'm like, this guy is not bigger than De'Aaron Fox. He's not.
Do you think he's the same size as De'Aaron Fox?
I think that he's thicker.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
I think that he's thicker than Aaron Fox. He has more of a muscular build than
he's got more rust to him than De'Aaron does.
More what?
Russell Westbrook.
Oh, more rust. Okay. Yeah, like
because that boy thick. Russell's jacked. I mean, he's not Giannis. He's not Giannis jacked, but
no, Russ is like Jesus jacked. He's like a lean soccer player.
That natural bod.
Like he's not like Kyle Lowry thick.
No, ain't nobody
That's the
thick.
Pinnacle.
Ain't nobody thick like Kyle Lowry.
That's the pinnacle.
That's the bulldog.
Yeah. Fucking. Let's get into something that I've been.
You've been teasing this for weeks.
So all right. So I read a book called Willpower.
This better be worth it.
By some guy named Baumeister and another guy named Tierney.
Bellmeister?
Baumeister.
Burgermeister?
No, that's his last name. Baumeister.
Okay.
Is
he German?
Baumeister.
I assume.
Baumeister and Tierney. So this Baumeister.
Now let me preface this a little bit.
Yeah.
You've been teasing this book. You've been like, I want to talk about this on the podcast. I want to talk about it on the podcast. And then this week, I just hear you going, "Fuck this, fuck this guy." You got really upset at the end of this book,
dude. So I would say, if I had to give this book like on a 5-star system,
I don't like 5-star systems. Bump it up to 10 stars.
Okay, so 10-star system, right? I'd probably give it like a 5.
Oh,
there are certain chapters that
5 being average.
There's certain chapters that are a 9.
5 being average.
Yes, and
so
then
it's
there's
an average book.
The last 3 chapters, I would give them like a 4, a 3, and a 2.
Wow.
Maybe even a 1.
Wow. They went full Dexter on you.
So this book is called Willpower, right? And it's a nonfiction book about willpower and about this. So Baumeister is a social psychologist, and he's done a lot of experiments, and a lot of this is the inclusion of a lot of his findings, as well as other experiments, as well as anecdotal stuff. And some of this anecdotal stuff is fucking fascinating, right? So there's a story in here about a guy named Henry Morton Stanley, who was someone who was an explorer. He explored Africa. Apparently, there was a lot of there's like a bad narrative about him exploring Africa, and apparently like he was a murderer or something like that. But like apparently this book goes into like, okay, like it's kind of misconstrued, the narrative of him, but they don't go into his moral character as much as his resilience. Okay, yeah. And his
dude, villains can be very resilient.
Yeah, and his and his willpower. And there's just a lot of fascinating. So like this dude, Henry Morton Stanley, was trying to, I guess, reach this certain part of Africa, but they talk about how he, in one of his last expeditions, right? He got into a really serious relationship with this woman.
Mm-hmm.
And while he was going on one of his last expeditions, he had this idea of this woman in his head. He loved her so much, and like the idea of her was like progressing him through these just awful conditions. In the heart of Africa.
Well, it's kind of like people in the military kind of have a similar thing sometimes.
Yeah, but it's very similar to the thing in the military. That's why like I kind of resonated with it, because a lot of times you hear about guys going through deployment and all they think about is their families back home, and then once they get home, they find out that they significant other has a Jody, and like it's a trope and it's a fucking it's an idea, but it actually happens.
Yeah,
it happens all of the fucking time. But that's basically what happened to this dude. He ends up getting to like this part of civilization or whatever, where he can get a piece of mail, and his friend basically tells him, "Hey, this girl just married someone." Right, and like, this is how this dude responds to it. He basically saying, whatever, that's fine. She gave me something that I probably couldn't give myself, which was like the inspiration to cross these lands, and I was just like, man, that's a fucking story right there. So, like there was a lot of really cool anecdotal stuff in there, as well as scientific evidence, as well as suggestions on how to outsmart your willpower.
Ooh.
Right? And how to visualize willpower and what you should be doing in order to have more willpower and to do the things that you want to do.
I usually visualize my willpower as green constructs.
Okay.
Yeah. I like to make giant fists.
All right.
Sometimes a hammer. If I'm feeling real jazzy, I'll make a jet plane.
That's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Mostly
and
because
like
that's probably the most original idea.
The way I really focus it is that I wear a ring, and that's sort of what I channel everything through. Yeah.
That's pretty interesting.
That's how I do it.
So there's a lot of really cool, just glazing past that stupid ass joke. So there's like a lot of really cool like little techniques that this book goes into. It talks about like self-monitoring, right? About how like, say if you're losing weight, right? If you're trying to lose weight, that, so a lot of people say like, oh, well, your weight fluctuates so much that you shouldn't be weighing yourself every day. Yeah. But they say that you should be weighing yourself every day because it's a form of self-monitoring. It's a way to remind yourself and to monitor yourself of, I'm doing this thing. And, say if you're writing down everything that you're eating, right? Looking at the things that you're eating inspires you to eat better, right? You're like, oh, okay, like it adds perspective, right? That also like the ideas of like pre-commitment. The analogy that he uses is Jason. No, fuck.
Freddy.
No, no, it's not Jason and the Argonauts. Fuck.
Yeah, it is.
Huh?
That's a thing.
Well, it is Jason. Like that is a thing, but I don't think
that's what he was referencing.
So, fuck.
Is it Elliphides?
There's some.
Elliphides.
No, I think actually might be Odysseus.
Okay.
In the Odyssey.
Yeah.
There's this. Because of the sirens. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So
there you go.
In the Odyssey, Odysseus ties himself to the mast, and he has everybody on his boat basically put
wax in their ears,
so that they can't hear the siren calls, right? But that is a symbol of pre-commitment. He knew going into it, but before that occasion, that he needed to avoid the sirens, right? So how did he do it? He didn't go into it thinking, oh, I'm just gonna ignore them.
That'd be dumb.
I have greater willpower than those before me. Therefore, I'm going to. No, he fucking tied himself to the mast. So, like a good, practical way that you can do something like this is, say if you spend a lot of time on Reddit. Right, and it just fucking wastes. You spend 3 hours a day on Reddit.
Delete the app from your phone.
So you can delete the app on your phone.
Or you get one of those apps that make you have a limited time on something.
Exactly.
Those are like web browser.
A limited time or
web browser
something that shuts down your Wi-Fi for 3 hours.
Oh, okay.
Right. So you're like, okay, I don't have Wi-Fi for 3 hours, therefore I can,
Focus
get my
on other
homework
thing.
done,
Yeah.
whatever, right?
Until you realize that you need to do some research
Mm-hmm.
and you can't get on the internet because you don't have Wi-Fi.
So there was just really practical, interesting stuff that I found in that book.
Mm-hmm.
But the last 3 chapters.
Okay, what ruined it?
So it started getting kind of weird. I specifically remember 2 chapters. I forgot what the third was, at least right now. The one that I was kind of like, this doesn't really interest me. So like, I think that other people might find a lot of interest in it, but there's a chapter on Eric Clapton
Mm-hmm.
and his association with God, and how God basically turned away his feelings. He was an alcoholic and a drug addict.
You mean Eric Clapton turned away his feelings?
What did I say?
God. You said God turned away his feelings.
Well, with God. So like with
he
prayer.
he utilized
used
faith
Yes.
to turn away from his vices.
Exactly.
Okay.
Well, but then not just turn away, but to completely stop
Yeah.
using them altogether.
That's not an unheard of thing. That's pretty normal.
It's not. But it's also they go into a lot of Alcoholics Anonymous,
Mm-hmm.
and one of the first steps of Alcoholics Anonymous is the giving up your will to a higher power.
That's part of it. That's interesting.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah.
Now,
it's part
that
of
doesn't
the 10
necessarily
steps, the 12 steps or
mean
whatever it is.
Believing in God, though.
No, they always say higher power.
Yeah,
and
because it can be kind of anything.
I've been to an AA meeting.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I had to go to it while I was hospitalized.
Oh, that's right. You told me that.
Yeah, and you just hear a lot of the. I don't know. It's kind of interesting, like how they. So the chapter that like I was sort of iffy on, that was the Eric Clapton chapter. I was fine with it. Like there was some interesting things in there, but for the most part, it was just interesting anecdotally. And I also wasn't that interested in the anecdote because it was a story that I've heard plenty of times.
Oh, okay.
Through people that have tried out AA. The hands down worst part about this book was the last chapter, and that's on dieting
Okay.
and nutrition.
Okay.
Okay. I'm going to read 3 things that it says in chapter 10 of Willpower. The chapter is called The Perfect Storm of Dieting. And I'll read this specific part, which just fucking pissed me off. It says this: if you're serious about controlling your weight, you need the discipline to follow these 3 rules. 1, never go on a diet. 2, never vow to give up chocolate or any other food. And 3, which I actually kind of agree with this, whether you're judging yourself or judging others, never equate being overweight with having weak willpower. I agree with that 3rd point and absolutely despise the first 2.
Okay.
So tell me if I'm wrong here, right? You can never not be on a diet.
You can never not be on it.
No matter what you're eating, you're always on a diet.
Sure. In the sense of definition of diet being what you're eating,
So I'll
but
explain
not
it.
in the sense of like the marketable idea of what a diet is.
Okay, obviously. But also, just because something is not sold doesn't make it not a diet, right? So one big problem that I have with these 2 rules, and he expands upon that, which infuriated me even more, was that the fact that I think it's irresponsible. I think that it's biased, and I think that I don't think that the work that he put forth in the earlier chapters was equated in this chapter. Because I think that someone can read that, someone who's dealing with weight issues, and believe, I shouldn't be eating any different. It could discourage them from eating more vegetables. It could discourage them from avoiding sugar. Whatever you believe is an unhealthy diet, right? It could discourage you from making better decisions about your diet. And ultimately, the most fucked up thing about it is the fact that it's contradictory to other things that he wrote in previous chapters in this book. So
Well,
my thing about a
make
diet.
the argument that a diet is similar to the Odyssey thing,
Okay, so
right?
my point, and you guys can feel free to fucking criticize
Fight him.
criticize me here, right?
No, fight you.
Yeah, fight me. Yeah, internet fight me.
No, I'm talking about in person.
So when I say that no matter what you're eating, you're always on a diet, correct? Fucking when you go to the zoo and you hear someone talk about a koala, they say, "Oh, this koala subsists on a diet of leaves and eucalyptus, whatever," right? So whatever you're eating is your diet. That is what you're consuming.
You're thinking about.
Subsisting.
I think you're thinking about diet in a different way than what he meant by diet.
But
in that rule.
but okay, that is a semantic conversation.
Yeah.
Whatever. Obviously, he's talking about don't go on a diet like
he's talking
the
about
Atkins
like
diet,
exactly. Yes,
right? Don't go
yes.
on an Atkins diet.
Don't go keto.
But okay, what is the issue here with going on a diet, going on keto, going on Atkins, right? Like, what is
Slim
he going
fast.
after? What is he going after?
I don't know.
So
you tell me. You read it.
The fault in his thinking, right? And I'm not sure who, because Tierney is the New York Times writer that basically put together a lot of this information, and the scientist is Baumeister. I'm not sure who came up with what as far as this, but earlier on in the book, they talk about how you should avoid sugar, because they talk about the idea of ego depletion, right? And how basically a lot of people will think that if I work out, right, and I need to do homework, those are two different levels of my willpower. They're not. They all come from the same thing. If you have just got done working out, it makes you like less likely to have the same amount of willpower for doing homework and shit like that. That's why it's better to intermittently be like put in little parts of relaxation time of whatever in between areas of workload, right? Even if it is physical, if it's mental, if it's emotional. If you just got in a fight with your girlfriend, you probably shouldn't write that paper right now. You know what I mean?
Simmer down.
Take 30 minutes. Eat something. And so they talk a lot about the idea of ego depletion and this having basically like a fuel storage of your willpower, right? And how there's a correlation between that and glucose levels. It was a really interesting thing in the earlier chapters about the relation there. But they said that if you want to have basically a better, more sustainable willpower, that you should go for the slow burn, right? So instead of reaching for a chocolate and things that are going to spike up your glucose levels, you should be eating leafy vegetables, whole grains, shit like that, right? And that's a topic of its own debate. Like there's plenty of people who believe in ketosis, that believe that you should avoid whole grains entirely and any kind of carbs, at least carbs that are not dietary or fiber. But then he goes on to explain, never go on a diet, right? If you're telling someone that you should be avoiding sugar, that is a diet. I don't care if you sell it. I don't care if it doesn't have a name. I don't care if it, it's not the Baumeister diet or whatever it is, right? That's a diet, right? A, that's contradictory. B, I think that it's irresponsible to encourage people to never go on a diet. See, the problem with this is like later on in the chapter, in this dieting chapter, they go into a lot of interesting things about how people think about diets. And I think that the approach to dieting is what should be examined here and not the vilification of dieting, right? And this is something that I've realized through reading this book and never really, it's very obvious once you think about it, but I've never thought about it this way because of the nature of who I am. I'm someone who's lucky enough to eat whatever they want and it doesn't
never
matter.
gain any weight.
And it doesn't.
You eat like shit.
I eat like ass. I advocate for eating healthy.
Yeah,
I do.
but you don't do it.
I've been eating better lately. I've been eating like I buy a bag of lettuce of like spinach every like I had a big ass chicken salad yesterday with carrots and cheese and shit like that. Like I've been eating a little bit better.
Cheese? How dare you? How dare you?
I mean whatever. I eat like shit and I still look fine. I don't gain weight. The only like big issue for me is like I recognize the difference.
You can
how
feel it.
I can feel it especially when I'm working out a lot. And I can
Like your energy level?
I wouldn't say even my energy level. I know I just know when I'm operating at an optimal level. Like I can feel it, but also like my brain and how it works, and like the being able to articulate sentences better. I'm better at doing it when I'm more healthy. Ambulance. It's an ambulance. Jeez,
Go ahead, you're good. I don't think it's that.
Okay, all right. Anyways, so I do advocate for eating healthy. Obviously, I do
Monkey,
eat like shit.
Do as you say, not as you do.
Well, okay.
Sometimes.
Okay, but me advocating for eating healthy, right? Like I think that it's, I don't know. I feel like it's obvious, but I feel like a lot of people they don't eat healthy for the sake of eating healthy. They will eat healthy with the goal in mind.
With a goal in mind, yeah.
To lose weight.
Yeah.
Specifically to say, I need to get
I
rid
need
of
to
15
eat healthy
pounds.
so that I can lose weight.
And,
yeah.
And that's something that I've never thought about like that going into it with that intention and how it can kind of fuck you over. And this book kind of goes into that. And it was probably the best part about that chapter was about if you go into it thinking I need to lose like I'm going to eat
number of
this,
pounds.
I'm going to I'm going to go on this diet so I can lose this amount of weight.
To get to this goal weight.
Right.
So then when you reach that goal weight.
The problem is the sustainability of it. Even if you do hit that weight, right, you'll give up.
Yep.
And you'll be like, okay, I've reached my goal.
I'm good. Yeah.
Instead of thinking about it as okay, I'm going to establish healthy habits for my diet and be like, okay, like I'm only going to drink water and maybe I'll have soda on the weekends, whatever. Right. There's no goal in mind there. It's a lifestyle.
It's a lifestyle,
right? It's you becoming addicted to the process.
So let me put something in.
Go ahead.
So okay, my dad had a heart attack when I was maybe around 6 or 7. He was like in his 30s, very early age to have a heart attack. He died for 12 seconds, something like that.
Right.
Brought back to life by the doctors, but his heart flatlined. He died. When he recovered from his surgeries and everything he had to go through, he made a very dedicated change to his lifestyle.
Right.
He completely changed the way he ate, his activity level, and everything. Now he's like a blue
a
belt.
nut,
He's a blue belt in jiu-jitsu, and he doesn't eat anything with corn syrup in it or any. He's learned all his allergies, like not just allergies, but things that he's intolerant to. So like, don't go out to eat with my dad. It's a horrible experience because he asks the waiter what's in everything and whether or not he can eat it. Like my dad is like my nightmare to serve is if someone like my dad walks in because I'm like, I don't know.
Right.
So, but like I've seen firsthand what you're talking about, the idea of not saying I'm going to go on a diet, but saying I'm going to change the way I live.
Yeah.
Also, as someone who has struggled a lot with weight fluctuation in their life, I've been like north of 240-ish all the way down to 185 at different times.
Yeah.
And, you know, I'm like pretty thickly built. I have broad shoulders and I'm 6 feet tall. I'm above average sized human.
Yeah.
But like the span, I'm talking about post high school because in high school I played sports. So I had sort of like a stringent exercise schedule from that. But post high school, when it's basically my own faculties, the best stretch that I ever was in was the same thing. I wasn't like, I'm going to go on a diet to lose weight. It was, I go to the gym, you know, this many times a week. And I had a personal trainer at that time, which was kind of by accident, but ended up working out in my favor.
Right.
and I went to him 3 times a week.
Yeah.
He was a super dope dude. Shout out Raul. I doubt he's listening to this. And I just basically made the concerted effort to eat more healthy than I usually do.
Mm-hmm. And I remember having a conversation with you where you literally said that.
Yeah.
Where you were, we were out at dinner or something, and you had ordered like grilled chicken or something.
I think it was at Ale House.
And and I asked you, I was like, so are you on a diet? And you said, no, I just kind of, and I think that goes to show as far as what they're trying to get after in this book with this chapter. They're trying to change the way that you think about what a diet is and how you can change your behaviors to it. So one thing that they talk about is I feel like we've kind of talked about this as far as like the oh fuck it kind of factor, right? So say if you're on a diet, a very strict
like if you're doing keto or something. It's really strict.
So there's positives and negatives towards having a very strict diet. They talk about the bright line effect, right? About having very strict rules, which is something that keto has, right? You have an amount of net carbs that you're allowed to eat per day, right? So it puts things in very
and they have to be specific types of carbs.
Yeah. Well, so what net carbs are, I might be fucking it up here, but basically you take the amount of total carbs and then you minus the dietary fiber, the grams of dietary fiber. Whew. And then you should have at least 25 to 50 grams of net carbs per day. That's the usually suggested amount. So, but in order to do that, you kind of have to cut out a lot of shit, including things that I feel like a lot of people probably view as healthy, like bananas. Yeah. Things like, and it's a majority of fruits.
Yeah, because fruit has a lot of sugar in it.
But what you should be doing is replacing a lot of those carbs with proteins, healthy, like leafy, dark vegetables, and things that are high fat.
Interesting.
Which a lot of people demonize. But they say basically like what you should be avoiding is not fat.
You're talking about the keto diet.
This is the keto diet specifically, right? But what one thing that I noticed while I was on the keto diet for a month, and I also don't.
You just wanted to try it. You weren't like.
I wanted to try it. I wanted to have more discipline.
Yeah.
I wanted to have more discipline with what I was eating. Right. I also don't advocate one diet for everyone. Yeah. I think that everyone's
bodies are different.
Everyone's bodies are different, and everyone should find their own inner thing. But I will never fucking advocate my own diet.
Yeah. Well, like when I lost a bunch
of frozen pizzas every other day.
When we were living in Orlando, or I don't know if you were still there, but when I lost I want to say 40 pounds. I wasn't really dieting as much as I just was like, I'll just eat grilled chicken most of the time because I know it's healthy. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, when you're eating things that aren't good for you, you're doing it. And there's some that are, like if you're eating like whole wheat breads or rice, like some things are like when you're getting down to the nitty gritty, but for the most part, if you're just trying to live a healthier lifestyle, it's okay if you have a sandwich with whole wheat bread. Yeah,
well, it's like, okay, so like the granola isn't accepted on a ketogenic diet, but every morning, like I'll normally eat like yogurt and granola. That's a pretty fucking healthy. Yeah, that's a pretty healthy option. Yeah, especially if it's not yogurt that's higher in sugar, which I've been eating a lot. I'm not eating like Yoplait. I'm eating yogurt that doesn't have some.
It's fucking gross.
So.
That's the hardest part for me with eating healthy is I don't like anything.
Yeah,
I'm way too picky an eater to eat well.
But like what you just talked about, right? So what you just talked about, like, okay, if I go to this place, I'm going to have grilled chicken instead of that. That's one of the things that they talk about in the book called implementation intention, right? So it's really easy. It's if X happens, then Y, right? So if I go to a film set and there's crafty there, right? Instead of eating chips, I'm going to I'm going to eat the carrots that are there, or I'm going to bring my own water, right? Like whatever it is. But it's having pre-planned structures in order to avoid the situations that you want to avoid, right? What were we talking about? Okay, so the bright line effect, so the positives and negatives of having a very strict diet. So,
well, I think the negative might be the guilt factor of when you mess it up.
So the negatives of having a super strict diet, of saying I am not going to eat X, right? I'm not going to eat chocolate, right? Say if you do get a craving, right, and you have some chocolate, if you have those very strict rules, you might just say, well, fuck it. I'm going to give in today.
Yeah.
I'm going to give in today, and then I'm just going to eat a whole bunch of chocolate.
Yep.
Right? And there was a
I'm
lot of
gonna
experiments.
have a whole bag of Starburst jelly beans.
And there was a lot of experiments
they're delicious.
Going into this with like 3 different groups, and they had one control group that wasn't told anything. They had one control group that said, hey, eat as much chocolate as you want, and another one that said, like, okay, you cannot eat this chocolate, whatever. Like, and there was basically in these experiments, they showed that like if you're trying to say, no, I will not do certain thing, once you finally give in, you eat way more than you would have originally. Right? Yeah, it's an avalanche.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's definitely true.
Yeah. But it's like little ideas like that I agreed with and that I thought were really interesting. But the absolutism of saying,
never
if you want to lose weight, don't go on a diet. Go fuck yourself. That shit pissed me off.
Yeah.
That shit. And I thought, to me, it's irresponsible.
Well,
it's fucking dangerous.
It's a little bit less about what they're saying and how they're saying it.
Yeah.
The gist of what they're trying to get across makes sense.
You can see this on the book, right? It's literally like
it's like separated. It's very,
separated
yeah. And
in a rule, like 1, 2, 3, these are the rules that you have to follow in order to lose weight. I think it's dangerous, especially because like the rest of the book is so good.
Yeah.
The rest of the book is so good, and it's easy for people to get tricked into kind of shit like that. They're being like, you know what? Like, fucking going on a diet is pointless. So that shit pissed me off. Other than that, good book.
Brought the book down, though.
Other than that, good book. I like
Just don't read chapter 10.
Yeah. I would say you can skip the last 3 chapters.
Last 3.
If you're interested in sort of the anecdotal
maybe
stuff of Eric
people
Clapton.
don't know about the Eric Clapton thing. Yeah.
Yeah, it's fairly interesting, especially like a lot. If you don't know a lot of Eric Clapton, or if you're a big fan of Eric Clapton, you do know, and you didn't know as much about the religious side. I could recommend that part. But
chapter 9.
The other chapter was was a chapter on parenting. And
now, how are you qualified to
I'm
have
not.
any ideas about parenting?
I'm not. There's just a lot of, and that was also another one that was like kind of
that was a joke, because at the end of the day, like the joke of being like, you don't have kids, how can you say anything about parenting? Just because you have kids doesn't mean that you have the wherewithal to be a good parent either. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, there's probably just as many kidless people who would be better parents than half the people that have kids. You know what I'm saying?
I think there's 2 sides to that.
Sure.
I think that like if you don't have kids, like you should probably temper your own opinions and ideas about what it takes to be a parent, how much of a parent you should be, because you really don't know what it's like. So yeah, but at the same time, I don't think that you should completely discredit those who don't have.
What did they say in the chapter
kids
about parenting you didn't like?
It was just like. I thought it was interesting. I thought it was more interesting. I was more inclined to read through the chapter than I was completely pissed off by the last chapter, because I think this was the 9th chapter, the part about parenting. But it was basically talking about the idea of raising your kids and telling them. So it's basically like, instead of having like work-centric, like achievement-centric parenting and giving kids the, like, okay, if you have a kid and they achieve X, right? Like, then you can give
like, if you get good grades
credit.
on your report card, I'll buy you a video game.
Then you can give them credit. And that kind of like positive. And they said that like that is better to teach your kids, and a way to raise your kids, than if you just tell them that they're capable of anything. And like that,
why is one not? Why can't you do both?
Exactly. So that like that's like I didn't think that like
they're not opposites.
I agree with you, but like they were basically going into the idea of like giving everybody a trophy kind of thing. They literally use that as an example, which I don't agree with that.
Giving everyone a trophy?
No, I don't.
No, it's silly.
No, I don't agree with it. And I, for the most part, kind of agreed with the chapter and the fact that like, but it's how you phrase it. I honestly believe that as a young child, you are fucking capable of anything. I'm just going to say it. I'm going to tell my kids that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying you're going to be capable of everything, but you have to fucking work for it.
Yeah, you have to work for it.
You have to work
You have to
for
earn it.
And you're going to have to earn it. You're going to have to, like, whether through smarts or pure grit, your heart, whatever it fucking takes, you can achieve anything that you want to, but nothing is going to be given to you.
Mm-hmm.
And if it is, it's not going to be as worth as much, right? So to me, it's how you phrase it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's not. They brought up Lady Gaga and like the like you're yeah, like the the whole like telling someone that they're a superstar right off the bat isn't a good way to raise children.
Superstars.
That it isn't a good way to raise children. And it actually conditions them in a really negative way. Because then they can
Feel sort of entitled.
There's entitlement that comes into it, and there's also a self appeasing notion of like even if you are failing, like there's no drive to improve upon it, right? I don't think that there was enough nuance within that chapter to really like appease me, to really like.
Cool. So you read Willpower.
I read Willpower.
You had thoughts on it?
It was all right. It's all right.
The first 6 chapters are very good.
First 7. I'll say the first 7 are
8,
really
9,
good.
10 are not.
First 7 are really good. There's a lot of fucking really interesting stuff, man. Like a lot of good anecdotal stuff. A lot of really good scientific stuff. Yeah.
Cool. You want to hop to shout-outs? We're pretty long right now.
Yeah. Let's do it.
You got one? Or you want me to go first?
Yeah, I do. So I actually brought this up in. I'm not sure if it was last week's long episode or if it was no, it was during a True Detective episode.
Okay.
I talked about the pair of headphones that I use.
Oh yeah, and I made a joke about how you should shout them out. I said save it for a shout out.
I had, and I'm doing that.
Yeah.
Right now. All right. So the pair of headphones that I'm going to be advocating for, shouting out here, is the Audio Technica M50s. I've had this pair of headphones for
Forever.
5 years. I got them when I was in South Carolina. I ordered them, and they were refurbished when I got them.
Oh wow.
So I think I bought them for like $120, which anybody who like doesn't really vibe with, like, they're like, holy shit, that's a lot to pay for a pair of headphones. Very cheaper than Beats. B, like, I don't think you realize how fucking gripping things are, like having
proper sound
and having really good headphones are like, you talk to any musician or audio engineer, having really good headphones is fucking important.
It completely changes experiences.
Exactly.
Whether you're watching like TV shows or movies or listening to music.
Absolutely.
Yep. I do not have good headphones.
No, but you do use my headphones on
sometimes,
occasion. Yeah. So I would suggest these. I would think so. I don't think that if
How much did you say they were? Or do you even know any? I mean,
they've probably gone
They're
down
probably,
in price for a while. There's probably like newer editions out there.
That's
But
true.
I did a lot of research before I bought them, because like I was like thinking about Beats, you know what I mean? Just because they were so popular.
Yeah, they're
I was
cool.
like,
They're cool.
well, here's the thing. I'm not gonna completely like
Disregard.
Yeah, disregard those who want to buy Beats. Like, if you want headphones that look cool, that have a better bass pickup, then buy Beats. They're better, but they're a little bit overpriced. And there are, if you're more just about having quality headphones that give you more true to sound, more of a true to sound experience, the Audio Technica M50s.
Audio Technica M50s.
Yeah.
Boom. Cool. You want to hear mine?
What's up?
They'd be great to pair with a pair of Audio Technica M50s.
Is this some music?
It's something that we've mentioned. You mentioned it earlier. We've mentioned it a few times on the show. Tiny Desk series.
Yeah.
The Tiny Desk series is
literally brought up on this show.
Yeah, you said it earlier. It is a video series of concerts hosted on NPR Music's YouTube channel, where they bring in different musical acts and they perform usually their biggest hits live, but it's literally in an office, like behind a tiny desk. And the outcome of this setting usually leads to the acts being stripped down and much less production being involved. There are some people who bring in whole bands. They'll bring in like 5 or 6 people and cram them all back there, and it's usually still pretty cool.
Yeah.
But the nature of the setting and leads to this stripped down level of performance usually leads to very cool versions of songs done by very talented people. They bring on really, really talented artists. Some of the best ones I can think of off the top of my head, we mentioned Saba's last week, is amazing. Adele has one that's really good. The Roots have a really great one. What was the one you said earlier today?
I talked about Hozier.
Hozier.
I mean, I watched the Take Me to Church that he did on there.
Georgia Smith has one that's really good. She was on the Black Panther soundtrack.
Right.
Yeah, and they released them, I want to say, at least once a week. And it's kind of cool because more than half the time I have no idea who the acts are. And a lot of times I just, if I don't know who it is, I don't watch it. But if you do take the time to watch people you don't know, you discover new, really talented people, which is also very cool. I know that it was like kind of T-Pain did one, and people were like, wow, T-Pain can actually sing?
Yeah.
Because there's no auto-tune. They're very cool. There's a ton of them. So there's a huge backlog. If you've never watched them, you can just go on to NPR Music's YouTube channel and just find all of the whole series on there. There's the really, really great performances on there.
Yeah, but the coolest aspect of it is like the getting music to its roots. Like it has like a very boiled down live, like acoustic isn't even enough to like really describe.
It's not always just acoustic either. Sometimes people bring in
exactly.
amps and guitars and drum sets and backup singers, but it still has a stripped down quality to it.
It's stripped down. Yeah, it's not overproduced, which it lends to a better experience at certain times, especially if they're as talented as a Saba or Adele.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Dude, Adele's stupid talented. So yeah, those are our shout outs. Tiny Desk series and the Audio Technica MP50s? MD50s?
M50s.
Oh, just M?
Got it.
Dang it. I was so close. Audio Technica M50s Tiny Desk concert. This has been an extra long edition of the Chris and Kyle Show. Hope you had fun. Come back, check out this week the winner of our poll, which we just looked. Even though Chris has no integrity and he votes on our own polls.
I have integrity. There's a difference between integrity and just the differences between our own
tried to take
moral quandaries.
He tried to take the power away from you people by putting his own.
Just because someone has different standards than you doesn't mean that they have less integrity, sir.
You made the argument that we didn't establish rules, and that's true. So I am now establishing the rule that we can't vote on our own polls.
Let's vote on it.
No, I'm telling you right now.
I vote against that rule.
It's the rule.
I vote against that rule.
You can't vote on our own
and
polls. That's
I make
messed
up 50% of this here podcast.
Nope. Anyway.
If you get the majority vote, I'll...
What?
I said if you get the majority vote, then,
Cheater. Anyway, it doesn't matter because Chris lost on the poll. We're gonna be watching and talking about Raging Bull this week, which I'm really excited for because I've never seen it. I had never seen Taxi Driver and would have been equally excited for that one. But Raging Bull won. It is the voice of the people, and it will be our spoiler episode.
It's interesting.
Will be our spoiler episode this week. So look forward to that. Check us out on the social medias. Find chrismichaelstott.com. Read his scripts. Find Chris Michael Stott on Instagram. Find me, DavinWell25 on Instagram and Twitter. Find the show, The Chris and Kyle Show, on Facebook, on YouTube, on all podcasting platforms, on Instagram, tcaks pod on Twitter. We will not be putting up a new poll for next month because the winner of our bracket challenge, which currently tied for first place, is Chris Michael Stott and his brother. So who knows what movie we're going to end up watching if one of you guys wins.
Yeah. There's a good chance that he's going to win.
Yeah.
Because I had Washington.
UNC.
So.
It's okay. If North Carolina wins, I will probably win. There's a chance. I'm the only one who picked North Carolina or didn't pick Duke. I picked North Carolina over Duke. We'll see. And if I win, I don't know. I have no idea what movie I would pick. I have no idea.
Really? You haven't been thinking about it?
part of me would want to just pick like a movie that I know we both really like finally do a Dark Knight episode or something.
Mm-hmm.
Part of me would want to do like the Batman vs Superman episode just to rage because I think it'd be entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
And part of me would want to do Glory Road because I love it, but then I don't want to hear you shit talk it at all, so I'm not gonna do it.
Glory Road?
Yeah.
You think I would shit talk?
I think
Glory
you
Road?
would shit talk it.
Honestly, I think that like I would absolutely shit talk it.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. We're about to run out of disc. It's been fun. We out.
We out. Stay weird.